All right, good evening, football fans. Welcome to Orange Nation TV's coverage of Valhalla football and Homecoming 2012. Tonight we're going to have the El Toro Chargers of Orange County and your Valhalla Norsemen. What a game this is going to be right now. If you look at our camera on center stage, we're going to have the coin toss for homecoming. We have last year's homecoming king, Nick Smith, and last year's homecoming queen, Layla Afkami. And hopefully they'll win this toss for us and give us maybe the ball first. That may be actually what might need to happen to make this game a successful one for Valhalla. Because if you haven't done your research, I'm going to do your research for you. What you're going to possibly see tonight might be one of the highest scoring high school football games you'll ever will see. You have two amazing, explosive offensives come into play, and we'll start with our visitors from El Toro. El Toro features possibly one of the best quarterbacks, not just in Orange County, but maybe in the entire state of California, and a guy by the name of Mr. Connor Manning. Connor Manning comes in tonight, completing 137 of 202 passes in just 4 games. He's 6'2", he's 195 pounds, and he's completed over 1,600 yards, and he's thrown the ball for 17 touchdowns, which is quite amazing. Just an amazing feat of throwing prowess, I guess. But Valhalla's no slouch. Obviously, those of you that have been paying attention to Valhalla football, you know that they can score quite easily and quite often. In fact, right now, speaking of scoring, we're going to stop talking and we're going to honor this country as Valhalla's choir sings the national anthem. Excellent job, as always. Valhalla's choir, one of the best choirs around, and does an excellent job honoring our country and our soldiers and all great Americans with the Star Spangled Banner. We're back here live, Orange Nation TV's coverage of Homecoming 2012, El Toro versus Valhalla. And before we went to the national anthem, we were talking about just the amazing offenses you're going to see tonight, and El Toro is about ready to run on the field. I believe they brought a banner all the way from Orange County, which is a nice addition. Looks good on camera, I would say. But anyway, they're bringing in a top-notch offense led by number 17, Connor Manning, and he's one of the top quarterbacks in all of California. And as I've read, and obviously I don't know him personally, it sounds like he's headed to the University of Utah, a Pac-12 school, obviously a Division I program. And who knows, if he keeps throwing these kinds of amazing yards, maybe he'll get some other offers too. I know there's a handful of Division I schools that have been very, very interested in him. So a handful of schools definitely are interested in his services, and we'll see where that ends up. But one interesting thing is he's very close to breaking a very impressive Southern Section mark, CIF mark, and that is the section leader, current record holder, by the last name of Barkley, who throws the ball at USC, as also a Heisman Trophy candidate and all those things. So obviously very talented athlete. Very talented athlete. and we apologize. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, and I'm having a little trouble with our mic. So we hope you'll bear with us. But anyway, so obviously, so we will see him throw the ball all over the yard tonight, and obviously Valhalla is going to do the same. Ramsey Romano, the quarterback for Valhalla, is not too shabby numbers himself. 54 of 78 for 899 yards. That's a pretty high completion percentage. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns in 4 games, and obviously he's right now, I believe he's the leader in San Diego County for all-purpose yards from line of scrimmage, not just passing the ball, but also running the ball. So we're going to get ready for the kickoff. It looks like El Toro is going to be receiving the ball. So they're going to try to get that offense up there. And they run an up-tempo offense just like Valhalla. They're not going to waste much time in trying to get to the line of scrimmage. You're not going to see a lot of time wasted in between plays. You're going to see a very fast action game. So it looks like we have number 10. Ramsey Romano's kick is going to go out through the back of the end zone. No chance of a return for the Chargers. So right off the bat, Valhalla doing what they've done very well the last few weeks, and that is kicking the ball off. So here comes that pretty well-known offense from Orange County. Here comes the Chargers. Valhalla's defense going to have their hands full. That's pretty much been the story coming in. Valhalla has played a lot of good offenses up to this point, but a lot of them running attacks. I think this is probably the top passing attack they'll see all year, as far as I know, at least from the league standpoint. Manning's pass is complete right off the bat to number 7. It looks like Dominic Collins, which is a junior, and he's one of the top receivers that Manning has to complete. As you can see right now on your screen, the Chargers are right up to the ball, right up to the line of scrimmage right away. They are not wasting time for anything. Play comes in from the side, and we move the change. That's a first down, by the way, for the Chargers. And here's Manning with the snap. Manning's going to throw right over his shoulder again. It's going to be complete again to number 7. He makes a nice move, and he's pulled out of bounds. Looks like he's pushed out of bounds by number 2 for Valhalla. That's Miles Steed. And once again, we are running on a 4G network tonight, and occasionally it has a little buffering issues. So please stay with us, and we'll do our very best to bring you the best coverage we possibly can. Manning's back in the shotgun, which is going to be all night, so that's probably the last time I say that. He fires off to the left-hand side. It's another completed pass. And so, like we said, there's not going to be too many issues with offense here. And already in 3-4 plays, they're already into Valhalla territory. You don't get a lot of chances to put pressure on this type of offense. He's able to stand back there and do what he wants because it's based on a quick release. And as you can see, the defensive backs for Valhalla are playing way off, and that's Spencer Havard on the tackle for Valhalla. But once again, as good a tackle as that is, that's another completed pass, I believe, and that's another first down. So 11-13 left to go in the quarter. So we're not even a minute into this game, and the Chargers are already on the 39, 38-yard line of Valhalla. That's going to be an incompleted pass, and that's going to be our, I believe, our first second down of the game as well. So that's a nice breakup there by Valhalla's defense.
And as we talked defensive players in our preview, they have said that they're going to work on their passing, and that's going to be the toughest part of the game.
So Manning back to pass, and the pass is complete, and it looks like number 2 for Valhalla, Miles Steed, another tackle. So this is going to be an opportunity for secondary players to be very active tonight for Valhalla. We're going to be calling some names we haven't called probably a lot during the course of this year, and that will probably get a chance to shine. But somebody's going to have to make a play, or this is going to be a very long night. It's 3rd down and 3 right now for the Chargers. 10:40 left to go in the first quarter. Pass, it looks like it's going to be complete. That's going to be a first down up to the 25-yard line. And that's another completed pass to Dominic Collins, and he's already had probably 3 or 4. And Harley Hoyt on the tackle for Valhalla. First down for the Chargers. Manning's pass off to Collins, and he's going to get about 11, 12 yards there on the play again. And that looks like Harley Hoyt again on the tackle for Valhalla. So I guess right now, if you're watching at home, if you're here watching on your mobile phone, you have to start having a little concern because you're 2 minutes into the game and they're knocking on the door already. Manning's pass is going to be complete to number 3 for the Chargers. That is Alex Schofelt with the completion, and he's brought down by Spencer Havard. Right back into action again. No delay. I don't get to say a lot of things other than describing the action as best I can. That's going to be a handoff, a rare handoff right up the middle by number 5, Jacob Fernari. Miles Steed brings Jacob Fernari down, the running back for the Chargers. And that's going to bring up first down from the goal line. Fernari gets the carry again, and it looks like he may be in the end zone. We're looking for an indication from the officials. I still don't see any indication, although I see several Charger players hugging it up. So I'm going to say that's a touchdown by El Toro. And so with 9:26 left to go in the first quarter, just a couple minutes into this game, the Chargers are able to drive the length of the field and get their first score of the evening. So it's 6-0 right now. We'll see if once again, it's a little difficult sometimes to see the numbers up here, to see who the kicker is here for the Chargers. Roger Howard is looking like he'll be the kicker to try to kick the extra point. And the kick is good. It's 7-0 Chargers. So if you like offense, obviously, so far you're pretty happy. If you're a fan of defense, I suggest maybe not watching for a while. So right now we're going to get to Valhalla's offense, and we want to introduce you to the starters for Valhalla. So take some notes here. We're going to introduce you to the starters.
Ramsey Romano, number 7, quarterback.
Jahad Elder, number 8, running back.
Brian Macias, number 15, slot.
Kevin Mills, number 1, slot.
Ben Howard, 88, wide receiver.
John Boyd, 30, tight end.
Michael Mansour, number 74, left tackle.
Justin Salee, number 52, left guard.
Kyle Myron, number 57, center.
Cole Anderson, number 50, right guard.
Hunter Davison, number 67, right tackle.
All right, we're back. Those are your offensive starters for Valhalla. We apologize in advance. The graphics and the video for the defensive starters is currently not available, so we will be rolling that into the replay. We probably will not have it for the live action game tonight, but those are your starters. Kevin Mills is going to catch that one, I think, just for practice in the end zone, and basically bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. We'll see if Valhalla can answer back to what the Chargers did on the first drive. This is going to be the key. I don't know if anybody can really trade points. I don't know if anybody wants to trade points, but right now Valhalla has no choice.
Yes.
They've seen what they've seen on tape all week. They know that Manning has attempted, I think, 60 passes in one game. That should not be a secret, but now do you make adjustments? What adjustments do you make? And here comes Ramsey Romano trying to answer back, get Valhalla back in the thick of things. Mills in motion, and we're going to hand off to Jahad Elder. So 2nd down and 5 for Valhalla. Jahad Elder on the carry. Macias in motion. Macias is going to get the ball around the end, and he's going to have a little trouble getting much of anything. A whole host of Chargers are knocking him out of bounds, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. So Valhalla has actually successfully ran the ball all year, and obviously running the ball might not be a bad idea because that keeps the clock running. So here we are, 3rd down and 4 with 8 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the quarter. And this is a critical down for Valhalla. Passes out to Ben Howard. It is complete. He's tackled on the spot by number 4, Brian Chinchilla of the Chargers. And we'll see. That's going to move that's going to move the chains or ropes, whatever you want to call them. Moves the chains. First down for Valhalla. Ramsey out of the shotgun. Mills in motion. And we're going to have a procedural call, I believe, on Valhalla. Looked like we had a couple people moving, but let's see what the officials have to say. It is a dead fall foul. It'll be on back them up 5 yards, and that's not exactly what Valhalla wanted.
Definitely not. This early in the game, it's they need to move forward, not backward, just quite simply.
And if you're wondering who that other voice is, that's Ode Youssef, and he's commonly heard on productions of Orange Nation TV. He's also our producer tonight. My name's John Owens. I am not a student at Valhalla, but I'm also part of the production team tonight. Ramsey Romano's pass is incomplete to Brian Macias. He did have a little room to move, I think, if he was able to bring it in, but unfortunately for Valhalla, he was unable to secure the catch. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. I'm sorry about that. We lost audio there for a second. And what you hopefully you saw was a screen pass to Jihad Elder for a nice big gain. And that's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for Valhalla. So another 3rd down for Valhalla, but they're also working the clock a little bit. And that's going to be a delayed handoff to Jihad Elder. And I don't believe he's going to be anywhere near the 1st down, what he needed to get to move the chains. That's going to bring up 4th down. I don't think this is a decision time for Charles, our coach Charles Bussey, and I may be wrong. It looks like they might be leaving the offense out on the field. It is going to bring up 4th down. And once again, you are playing a team. It's out of your section. It has no bearing on league play. And I think, if nothing else, they forced El Toro to take a timeout, and that's not all bad. So we're going to take a timeout with them. All right, we do apologize once again, having some technical difficulties. What you missed in the blackout there was a punt by Ramsey Romano, pretty good punt and pretty good return. And a couple plays later, here the Chargers are back in Valhalla territory. Okay, wow. I'm really, first of all, apologize on behalf of everything and send a letter to Verizon. That's who's providing our internet tonight. Well, since we last talked, there's 5:54 left to go in the first quarter. Right now, Valhalla's down 14-0. And we basically just punted back to El Toro. And you might be wondering why Valhalla has the ball. It's because El Toro muffed the punt return, and Valhalla was able to jump on top of that. I did not catch exactly who recovered the punt, but here's a pass by Ramsey Romano. He's looking deep for Ben Howard. He's got Ben Howard, and that's going to be a touchdown. And I hope we got that on camera because that's a pretty amazing reception off the deflection by Ben Howard. So just like that, Valhalla from despair to happiness. And we're right back in this with this extra kick here by, hopefully, I think it's going to be Ramsey Romano. No, actually, it looks like Hendrickson is back tonight for Valhalla to kick this. Ian Hendrickson, who had been injured, looking to kick this ball. And this PAT. Try to make it 14-7 with 5:42 left to go in the first quarter. And we'll see if Hendrickson's kick is true. And it appears to be. So Valhalla manages to claw back into this and just down a touchdown. So when we last left, you knew that this was going to be we're going to talk to O'Day here a little bit, but when we left before, you knew that Valhalla had their hands full defensively with the team that likes to throw the ball. And they've had all those problems that we thought they might. Still very early in the game. And if you're familiar with arena football, sometimes it just matters who has the ball last. And so if Valhalla can somehow get a stop here, force a turnover, obviously they've proven now that they can score on El Toro, so that's not a question. Maybe they can keep this game close and give themselves a chance here at the end. We shall see. The first line of duty for Valhalla is Ramsey Romano hopefully kicking the ball through the end zone, because one of the things you did miss is number 5 for El Toro, Jacob Fernari, had about a 43-yard run while we were trying to get our internet connection back. And so obviously we don't want to kick off to anybody that of the likes of Fernari in the open field, and Fernari is actually one of the people back to try to return that kick. So the ball does go in the end zone, and here comes the Chargers out for their third possession of the game. 14-7 is the score, and so far El Toro is as advertised in terms of passing. And also, too, if you have a chance to look at the rosters, and if you're ever looking at, well, where can we see some rosters, Max Preps is a great website for this, but if you do get a chance to see these rosters, you'll note that there's quite a big size difference as well tonight between the two teams. So a rare handoff to Fernari, and he's pretty much where he left off the last time he got a ball. He's got a nice gain, about 15, 16 yards. He's going to be up to about the 38-yard line. And right now we'd like to send a shout out to Stephanie Sellers, who's at home in Santee watching this game live, and she just texted me to let me know that we're back going and fairly clear, and that's good to hear. There's also a chance we might have a small constituent of watchers in Boston, Massachusetts this evening, as pass out to number 3, Alex Schofield, and he gets another couple yards up there, and it looks like, see where they spot this. This is going to bring up second down and about 3. Officially second down and 2. But like I was saying, we may have some viewers out in Boston, Massachusetts watching this game live on Orange Nation TV as well. Manning's pass is incomplete. Is intended for number 88, Cody White. Now, obviously, if you're a skill player, if you're a receiver, you would love to play in this offense. You're going to have chances to touch the ball every time, which is why the spread passing offense is really taking the country by storm. Gets a lot of people active. And here's another carry by number 5, Jacob Fernari. And you know what? He's shut down for a loss. And it looks like we had number 21 for Valhalla, Deshaun Tone, who is back playing for the Norsemen. First time this year that he's able to put on a uniform, and thank goodness he's there because that's a big stop. But when you're El Toro, you can take some chances. So here's 4th down, and we'll see how the Norsemen respond. Once again, we'd like to probably roll in the video of our defensive starters tonight, but we have that unavailable. We will get that in the replay, and it looks like the Chargers are going to try to draw them off, but sure enough, they snap the ball, and that pass is going to be That pass is complete. So that's why you go for it on 4th down, because you have the ability to do that. Blake Murphy on the reception for the Chargers. So obviously, if you go on 4th down, you're El Toro and you don't get it, and Valhalla does score, you're pretty confident that you can score right back. So obviously probably a big decision for him. Blake Murphy rolls to the right, and he's got a man, and he's got a completed pass, and a whole host of Norsemen trying to bring him down. One of them looks like number 10, Nehemiah Brown, was in on the tackle for Valhalla. And I believe that was Alex Shofit on the reception. And we apologize to any El Toro fans at home if we mispronounce any of your sons' names. We are trying our best. We do not have a pronunciation guide, so we will do our very best. Manning back to pass. And that ball is going to be complete. We had 2 people in the area for Valhalla. They could not bring it down, and he found a way to just put it right where it had to be. And Blake Murphy scores another touchdown for the Chargers. So if you do watch that play over again on the replay, you'll see probably a pass that at first I thought probably should not have been thrown. But what do I know? I'm not a Division I quarterback. I'm not heading to Utah on a scholarship. And if you look at the replay, you notice that I was completely wrong because he put it right where it had to be. It was not getting picked off by anybody unless they're about 6'5", and that's another touchdown for the Chargers. So 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. And we'll see if this kick makes it 21-7. And it does. So Valhalla finds himself down a couple touchdowns. And we'll see where they go from there. So if you're sitting at home tonight and you say, you know what, I'm going to watch this game and I need something else to watch after this game, go to Orange Nation TV's YouTube channel and you can watch all kinds of highlights. You can actually watch tonight, you can watch every game that we've covered to this point. You can watch Mira Mesa, Madison, any of the games that we've covered up to this point, and you can see highlights and you can see previews and interviews of all your favorite players. We'll also be adding this weekend field hockey and volleyball. You can also watch Odin's procession.
Yes, you can.
And I'm very excited. We're going to be showing the staff flash mob on Orange Nation TV too, so I'm sure that'll be a huge hit. All kinds of things going on Orange Nation TV, so please, please, please check back frequently. Go to our Facebook page and like us. If you don't like us, please don't tell us. It'll hurt our feelings. Roger Howard looks like he's going to tee this ball up and kick it deep. He's also been pretty successful putting it into the end zone. And obviously one of Valhalla's biggest weapons, actually 2 of their biggest weapons, are Kevin Mills and Nehemiah Brown, who are back deep to try to field this kick. And it looks like they're not going to get another opportunity. Also, we hope you stay tuned and bear us through our internet connections. And
we're actually doing pretty good at this moment.
We're doing pretty good, knock on wood. But we hope you stay with us for a lot of reasons, because at halftime we're going to crown a new king and queen.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to see some amazing fireworks. And we're actually about the last 3 or 4 minutes of the half. I'm going to turn this over to Ode and a couple other students, and they're going to entertain you with some play-by-play as well. So a lot in store. So please, please, please don't go anywhere. And we'll try to bring you the best Orange Nation coverage of Valhalla football that we can. Play action pass by Ramsey Romano. This pass is going to be complete. And it's going to be complete to Kevin Mills. Now, it's great to see Kevin Mills out there. Kevin Mills has had a hamstring injury. He actually played his first game of the year last week against Morse, which was an exciting victory, 43-40. And so that is great to have him. He's a tremendous talent, a lot of speed, and something that definitely Valhalla needs. In fact, there's Mills in motion. And delayed handoff to Elder. And he's going to be brought down quite easily by number 23, Sam Travis of the Chargers. And that's going to bring up second down, and there was a loss on the play. So Valhalla definitely never wants to lose yards, but they want to keep, in manageable situations all night. The worst thing they could do is put their defense back on the field any more than they have to. Obviously, the Chargers have proven that they can move the ball. They're changing formations here. They're back into a pistol. You had 3 people moving around there. And Ramsey Romano's pass is narrowly incomplete. They're almost intercepted, and it was intended for Kevin Mills once again. So 3rd down and 12. And when you have 2 teams that throw the ball around, we kicked off at 7 o'clock. It's almost 7:30 right now, and we're not even out of the first quarter. So a lot of stop in action, and that's what you're going to see tonight. And we just hope that doesn't get out of the Valhalla's hands. Hopefully they can convert here and keep the clock moving and move the ball. Ramsey Romano's going to look deep, and he's got John Todd wide open. Number 4 not going to be brought down. John Todd's going to walk it into the end zone, and this is the offensive fireworks we were hoping to see because, you can handle a few scores by the Chargers as long as we're going to answer back. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, you better look for the deep ball because Ramsey Romano can throw it quite well. And nice job by John Todd, not only catching it, but he wasn't going to fall for the shoestring tackle as well, and he gets into the end zone. It's 21-13. Valhalla answers a Charger score. And here's Ian Hendrickson to try to add that extra point. And I do believe a skunk is in the neighborhood tonight because I'm smelling something that smells like a skunk somewhere. Not that you need to know that at home, but that's my observations here on Orange Nation TV. Hendrickson's kick is good. It is 21-14, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the quarter. And there's been 35 points scored. Yeah. 35 points scored, and there's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in the quarter. Now, not that anybody needs to know my personal history, but I grew up in the Midwest. I'm a huge Cornhuskers fan, and I still believe the greatest teams to ever play college football were Nebraska in the 90s, and they didn't run anything like this. And personally, I like a little physical football, but for those of you that grew up watching video games, you probably like this a lot more than good old I-formation football. But that's my political statement of the evening. I'll step back and make great observations about the offenses, which there's tremendous talent. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I'd feel quite lost if I played defense on either one of these teams because there's just balls flying everywhere, and it's got to be take a mental toll as well. Yeah. So Ramsey Romano doing double duty. It's hard not to put him on kickoff out there because he is such a tremendous talent. All right, there's your kickoff, and that's going to go back into the end zone. So once again, that's going to keep a very dangerous talent in Jacob Fernari into the end zone, and he's not going to be able to bring it out. So here comes the Chargers. So once again, we're looking for adjustments. We're looking what Coach Bussey can do with his defense to see if he can put a little pressure. Now, those of you that know offense and you know football, you know that it's tough to put much pressure on an offense where you're literally quick release. This is stressing quick release. They're not throwing the ball deep. They're dinking and dunking it down the field. Those of you that are familiar with the Texas Tech Red Raiders of the Leach era, I've seen this offense before. It's very effective, and when you can't put any pressure, it gets pretty ugly too. So there's another nice carry there by number 5, Jacob Fernari. And we'll try to get that tackle. It does look like there's a flag on the play. And that's going to be a hold against the Chargers. And I'll tell you what, Ball is going to take that, move them back, let them start in a deficit. And that's not all bad.
No.
Actually, it's really good. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Valhalla has made, and hopefully they've made several because obviously they've struggled to put any real pressure or slow down even the Chargers tonight. And they're not alone, by the way. I want to point out that the scores by El Toro this year have been ridiculous. They've scored tons of points as they complete another pass across the middle. Looks like number 8, Chase Schroeder. And Giuseppe Castanos on the tackle. And I'm really happy that Giuseppe Castanos got that tackle because I want to apologize to Giuseppe Castanos' family. I have accidentally called him Ryan Arnsbarger for most of the year. And he came and found me the other day, said, my name's not Ryan Arnsbarger, and I know that. So Giuseppe Castanos, great tackle on the play. That's going to bring up second down for the Chargers. Manning rolls out to his right. Pat throws back, and it'll be incomplete. There's a couple Norsemen in the area, so had number 88 caught that, I would like to think they would have made him pay for it. Yeah. But that's going to bring up a very rare third down and long for the Chargers. Now, it goes without saying, this is the type of third down and long this is the type of offense that can handle a third down and long type of situation. Also, at the end of the quarter, there's 2 minutes left. At the end of the quarter, you're going to be able to – and there's a timeout for Valhalla. So, excuse me, I interrupted myself. So, timeout Valhalla. They want to talk this over. They definitely can give up some yards here, but they don't want to give it up all 15, obviously. And And with a high-octane offense like this, you never know. Maybe El Toro goes for it or something like that if they're able to get 8, 9, 10, 11 yards here, which is unorthodox football, but, definitely you're on the road. You're playing a team you'll never see again.
Exactly.
Why not? Obviously, you've been able to move the ball. But as I was saying, after the end of this quarter, you're going to see Aditi Dance take the field, and they're going to wow you with a rendition they've put together for Valhalla's homecoming. Those of you that don't know, Valhalla's homecoming was this week, and it was Valhalla through the decades. And we celebrated all the decades that Valhalla was open, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Aditi Dance is going to showcase those years.
Yes.
So here comes the Chargers back out on a 3rd and 15. We'll see what kind of play they have up their sleeves, and we'll see how Valhalla handles this. So far, Valhalla, this drive at least, has shown some improvement. They've made some changes here and there, and we'll see how that plays out on 3rd down and 15. As I stated before, just in case you're keeping track at home, 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Manning rolls to the right. He's got a little bit of pressure. Here comes Deshaun Tone. The pass is complete to number 88, and that's going to be a completed pass, like I said, to number 88, Cody White. And here's the problem with what Valhalla has to do defensively. It's fine that number 88 made that play, but you have to make the tackle.
Exactly.
And that's the beautiful thing about the offense that they're running here by the Chargers, is that they make you make tackles in space. If you can't make the tackle in space, they're going to burn you. And so 3rd and 15 becomes, 4th and inches for other teams. And there's a nice run, adding to his total so far. Number 5, Jacob Fernari has had a pretty decent day. He's probably nearing 60, 70 yards. And when we talk to our statisticians a little bit later, we'll find out exactly how many yards he has. So 2nd down and 4 for the Chargers. So that's got to be a frustrating turn of events for Valhalla to see how they respond. Pass by. Manning is complete again to number 88, Cody White. Very busy guy. They're going to move the chains again. This seems to be a recurring theme, moving the chains. Valhalla's done it with the deep ball, which is exciting and fun. And how the Chargers are doing it with short yardage here and there, and Dinkin and Duncan, which is very frustrating. Manning's pass off to the left. Looks like it's number 3, and he's going to cut up the field, and he's got a big alley off to the left. And once again, what I said before, if you can't make the tackle in space, it's going to get awfully ugly. And that was Alex Shofit. And I'm going to try to get a pronunciation on his name so I can stop screwing that up, because he's having a pretty nice game. So I just got a ruling on Alex's last name, and it's Shofit. And I hope to pronounce that correctly, because he's had a pretty nice start to this game. 54 seconds left to go in the first quarter. There's another completed pass by Manning. And I really hope our statisticians brought extra lead for their pencils, because, I don't know, ballpark, I'm saying 20 passes. Easily 20 passes so far this quarter. You do the math, that's a lot of completed passes, pass attempts. Deshaun Tone got loose there, but not in time for Manning, and the ball is just going to be barely incomplete to number 88, Cody White. Deshaun Tone, number 21, is a marvelous talent, and he has not been able to play up till this point. Tonight's his first game able to play for Valhalla, and that's a big improvement for them. He's such a physical player, very strong, and he's quick, and he's a good talent. So obviously him getting a little pressure there. Hopefully maybe he'll get to meet Mr. Manning here shortly and introduce himself with his pads. So 3rd down and 2, and we got whistles by the officials. It looks like a timeout by Valhalla. So we're 30 seconds away from the end of the quarter, and you'll see Aditi Dance performing. So far, so good on the coverage. We hope everybody's enjoying this at home. If you think you missed something, or you just, man, I got to see this game again, it's going to be replayed. We'll leave this up on our Play on Sports Orange Nation TV page and on our YouTube Orange Nation TV page, so that you can enjoy this game all year. Obviously, we'll take this game, we'll break it down into highlights, and about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, we'll have highlights up for everybody to enjoy. Our hope is by the end of the year to, if not just showcase football, but like I said, we'll be adding field hockey, But we hope to be doing choir, theater, you name it. So be looking for a lot of different things on Orange Nation TV.
And we also plan on by Tuesday having Valhalla's Got Talent on air for you guys to enjoy if you didn't make it to the actual event.
Yeah, and if you missed Valhalla's Got Talent in person, you missed some talent.
A great show.
I don't know if great's the word, but it was definitely good. All right, handoff, and that's going to be brought down short. It looks like a whole host of players. One of them is going to be Ryan Arnsbarger, and it really was Ryan Arnsbarger. It was not Giuseppe Castanos, but it was Ryan Arnsbarger, number 51. So here we go, fourth down and 6, 10 seconds and rolling. Manning's pass looks like he's going to pass. He's going to unleash it, and that looks like it's going to be a completion and a touchdown to Cody White. Now, once again, everything seemed to be going okay. A little bit of pressure. Once again, if you are at home, we're experiencing a little bit of internet difficulty right now. All right, so just a little bit, just to bring you up to speed a little bit, and we apologize for having a little bit of internet issues, but that pass was complete. A little bit of pressure, definitely fourth down play, but unfortunately for Valhalla, they're going to bring that pass down, and there was coverage there, but number 88, Cody White's just a little bit taller than our defensive player there. So after one quarter, we got 14-28 is your score, with the Chargers 2 touchdowns up on Valhalla. And if you can do the math, that's going to be a lot of points over the course of the game if this continues. Valhalla definitely has to answer. And we're going to sit back and we're going to watch Aditi Dance, it looks like. Aditi Dance is going to run out, take center field, and let's see what they have to do. All right, so what you're watching right now is Aditi Dance. And by the way, if you're at home and you're like, man, that's my granddaughter out there, I want to see this whole thing. I can't believe the internet's not working. Make sure you watch our replay, because the replay will have this entire performance in its entirety, and it will be not our internet issues. So please, please, please check back. We're working this out. This is all new to us, and Aditi Dance did a great job, and a little bit of delay there, but nice job for them, and we're all better for that, honoring our homecoming and a wonderful dance tradition Valhalla has. So we're underway here in the second quarter. It's 28-14. Valhalla is going to get the ball back. They have to score. There's no doubt now that just going to have to score every time and hope to force another turnover, because that's really the reality of playing a team like the Chargers.
They need to stay focused on scoring and at the same time playing a tough defense, because El Toro, they can get it in the end zone, and they've been doing it every time.
All right, Roger Howard's kick, and that's also going to go back into the end zone, not going to be returnable. We'd like to thank all our students, those of you that are watching Orange Nation TV for the first time. My name is John Owens, but I'm a teacher here at Valhalla, but everybody else doing work here are students. Ode Youssef, who's our producer. You've heard his voice several times. We have Amanda Zimmerman on camera tonight, and we have Abigail Metch doing some spotting right now, and I believe we have Tyler Roy doing stats. We have Christian Howard somewhere. He's always doing a great job doing things. And so here we go. It looks like there was a flag of some sort, and they're sorting it out right now. We'll try to let you know what that flag's about, but it was definitely after the action. Obviously, the ball went into the end zone. We have a personal foul against Valhalla, and, that's absolutely what – and now the personal foul against El Toro. So it's going to be offsetting. So the reality is this. You don't want any of those. Thank goodness it's offsetting. And sometimes when you get down, it gets a little frustrating, and things can get ugly and get out of hand. So first down and 10 for Valhalla. And right now, it looks like El Toro's coach wants an explanation. It looks like they're doing a little talking over on the other side of the field, and that's fine. And by the way, if you are listening to this live and you want to see some football tomorrow, we will not be covering it, but the freshman and JV games will be taking place here at Valhalla against El Toro. And so you can see more Valhalla Charger action. Ramsey Romano back to pass, pump fake, and that's not going to work out because he's going to be brought down, looks like, by number 23 of the Chargers, Sam Travis, on the play. And that's going to be a considerable loss for Valhalla. That's not anything that they wanted. They're pretty deep now into their own side of the field, about the 11-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 20. So Valhalla in the pistol formation. No motion this time. Ramsey Romano's going to throw the screen off to Jihad Elder, and he's had a hard time getting loose tonight. They've spelled him out quite a few times, and they figured him out on the screen play and a couple runs. So Jihad Elder doesn't get much there, and this is going to bring up 3rd down. So 3rd down, and I don't know what you call here, but it better be something good because you definitely do not want to give the ball back to El Toro. No. All right, Ramsey's able to get out of that pressure. He's taken off, and Ramsey can run. There's a beautiful block by Ben Howard. Ramsey Romano in the open field. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Walk it in for the Michigan baseball player heading to Ann Arbor. And Bowie, you can play a little football too, and there's a touchdown. And 28-20, we'll see how the kick is. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of 3rd and 15 plays, but that was probably one of the more non-traditional and interesting ones. But great block by Ben Howard. Yep. I'm going to say it's a great block. There's no replacement officials here. That's a great block. 28-20. We'll see if Hendrickson's kick is good. Make it 28-21, and that kick is up and good. So 10:40 left to go in the 2nd quarter. Valhalla, I'll tell you what. I absolutely tell you what. Every time I think in this game, and it's still very early, every time I think morale is down.
Yeah.
Somebody's coming up with the play.
Exactly.
And this all started with Ramsey Romano, both with his arm and with his scrambling ability. So I'll tell you what, if they can keep generating those kind of plays, obviously they can at least stay within sniffing distance of the Chargers. But I'll tell you what, they need a defensive stop.
Yeah.
And absolutely, I will say this. Very few times have I seen teams as advertised in terms of offensive prowess. You know, I don't know anything about Orange County. I'm sure there's a lot of great athletes up there, just like there's a lot of great athletes here in San Diego. Definitely not taking anything about huge population center. You're going to have great football up there. I don't know some of the teams they play. I've never seen Huntington Beach play. I've never seen Canyon play. So, obviously, when you look at those game film, it's hard to get a feel. But I'll tell you what, here in person against Valhalla, they look everything is that you thought they would. Yep. Manning is a great quarterback. Utah will be happy to get him. And Romano's kick, his leg's a little tired, but he still managed to put that in the end zone. So that's good. 28-21 is your score. And here comes the Chargers. Here comes Connor Manning. And, you know, I'll tell you what, I know in my coaching experience, I was around some teams that were pretty good and they were able to score and things like that. But you must feel pretty good when you have a quarterback like Connor Manning taking your team out there. You can score at will, probably against most teams in general, and you have to feel really good about that. Mm-hmm. Not feel that good about it if you're a Valhalla Norseman fan. So obviously the defense needs to step up and make a play. And there's a handoff to a missed tackle as well. Looks like Spencer Havard and Ryan Arnsbarger on the tackle. That was number 5, Jacob Fernari, on another carry for him. So let's not forget, even though Manning is the highlighted name, he seems to have gotten quite a lot of mileage out of his running back so far in this game. We'll check out those stats a little later in the half. Manning back to pass. It's going to be a completed pass to number 7. Dominic Collins brings that ball in for the Chargers, and there's that up-tempo offense right up to the line of scrimmage. No matter what, they're heading that way, and it is a first down, and the chains are moving. Definitely a team, if you're going to play and run with the Chargers, you better be conditioned because they're right up. But the nice thing is Valhalla runs an up-tempo offense too, so it's not unusual. Not like they have not seen something like that before. It's just that El Toro seems to be especially proficient in their ability to move the ball. Manning back to pass. He passes off to number 7. Nice little move there, and he's able to get a few more yards. Dominic Collins. So I hate to break down this offense too much. There's probably a lot of people at home that know a tremendous amount of football, but right there is a great example why this offense works. The throw was made. It was a 6-yard pass. The tackle was not secure right away, and what did they get? 3-4 more yards. They moved the chains, and that's why this offense is so highly popular, because you can find enough kids at your school to run it, and most schools don't have enough kids to put on defense to match up with all your athletes on offense. And even if they do, you just keep scoring, and you just hope for the very best. So Manning back to pass, and his pass is going to be incomplete. So that's going to bring up a rare 2nd down for the Chargers. And if you can kind of watch on your field, or on your screen rather, that Valhalla is switching out on defense. They're keeping some fresh legs in there. What they really need to do is, you really hope is that you'll get somebody to break loose, make a play, get a hit, trade some paint with Manning, because his jersey's awfully white, and he's wearing white leggings. He's got white sleeves. I mean, that kid is not a touch of grass on him, and his pass is complete to number 7, Dominic Collins. So obviously, 3rd down here. 3rd down and very manageable. I think obviously 3rd down and 30 would probably be pretty manageable for the Chargers. 9:18 left to go in the 2nd quarter, 28-21. That deep ball is incomplete on 3rd down. That was excellent coverage there by Nehemiah Brown. He's able to break up that pass, and that's really what Valhalla needs. Now, here's where don't get too excited, because 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 3 with this type of offense, that's a throwaway down. You can try the deep ball, because why not? If you complete it, great. If you don't, because you're going for it on 4th down. Because now you're going to go your dink and dunk. You'll be somebody in the flat. There may be even a handoff here. It could be a draw of some sort or a screen. So obviously, throw the ball deep. We did stop it, and there's some pressure. And finally, we get some pressure on him.
We go.
And that is Terrence Caracchio. And finally, Valhalla
taking the ball back.
Finally, Valhalla's able to lay a shoulder pad on him, and Terrence busts through there. Terrence is a really nice kid, and he's a pretty excited kid right now running off the field. And Valhalla gets their first stop of the night against the Chargers offense, other than the muff punt.
Of course.
And so here's 1st down for Valhalla in the Chargers side of the field.
A score here is key to the game, if you were to ask me.
And I didn't ask you. No, just kidding. O'Day, you're absolutely right. A score here would be excellent. There's a screen pass, and to Macias, it's going to be incomplete. And once again, if you see that pressure come up the middle, and it's a screen pass, obviously that's by design. Although I don't know if Ramsey Romano wanted the pressure that fast. But anyway, here's 2nd down and 10. Valhalla absolutely has to do something with this. And you, O'Day, all joking aside, you're absolutely right. This is a drive in which they need to score, even things up, and try to assert their authority here on homecoming night. There's going to be probably, that's a completed pass. But let's not get too excited, although that is a nice completion by John Todd. But I do believe there's going to be a flag, hold, or a clip. And look, the flag was thrown about where the offensive line is for Valhalla. So unfortunately, I think this play is coming back. And that's going to be very disappointing for both Ramsey Romano and John Todd. It was a nice pass, and that is a hold. And so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 20 for Valhalla. And you can hear the crowd's thoughts on that play. And if we were to survey the crowd, I'd say we're about 98% not in favor of that. The other 2% just haven't been paying attention. But that's going to happen, and that does happen. Holding happens. And so Valhalla just has to come back with another successful play. All right, so here comes Valhalla right up to the line. They're going their up-tempo, as they normally do. 8:52 left to go in the half. Another screen pass out to, looks like Nehemiah Brown. And Nehemiah Brown's got all kinds of wheels. He splits the defense, and he's going to get Valhalla back into a very manageable 3rd down. I'll tell you what, Valhalla is filled with lots of skilled players. But I'll tell you what, I probably say too many nice things every week about Nehemiah Brown, but that kid is fast and he's talented, and I get a little excited every time he gets the ball in his hands because I know it could be 6. And that, it was a nice big gain there. 3rd down and 7 for Valhalla. See what they do on 3rd down. Passes complete across the middle. That's to Kevin Mills, and he's down to 24-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Valhalla can play this game too.
They could.
And I'll tell you, momentum is a crazy thing, and high school football is even crazier when you talk about momentum. And Valhalla's got their head screwed on straight, and they are looking to drive this ball right down the throat of the Chargers here with 8 minutes left to go in the half. That's a handoff to Jihad Elder, and he's going to wind his way up for a few yards. He's had a few carries tonight, kind of in a decoy situation. I don't know if it's a decoy situation, but you got to keep him honest. We've been throwing the ball because we've been trying to play catch-up, but that gets him a little bit, a few yards there. It looks like about 3. That's going to bring up 2nd down for Valhalla. A score here, obviously, goes without saying, would be momentous with 7:50 left to go in the half. Ramsey Romano's going to roll to the right, a little bit of pressure, and it's going to be an incomplete pass. He had, I believe that's Brian Macias, out in the flat there and almost slipped and was unable to bring the ball in. So that's 3rd down for Valhalla. So don't go anywhere with 7:43 left to go in the half. Obviously, this game's exciting. Why would you go anywhere? And you can take us with you on mobile, I believe. But obviously, we got some fireworks at half, so stick around. We're going to crown a king and a queen, so that's always exciting. Shotgun formation for Ramsey Romano. His pass is going to be tipped somewhere. It had to be tipped. It had a strange trajectory, and I couldn't see. But the pass was intended for Ben Howard, and it kind of died a few yards in front of him. So 4th down here, 4th down and 8 for Valhalla. I don't think there's any question of what they're going to do here. I would be surprised if they did anything other than go for it. But, this is a big down. Every down is going to be considerable when you're playing a team that can score like the Chargers do. And looked like they almost drew them offside. I think they're going to get 5 free ones here from El Toro unless there was some movement that I did not see. Yes, and that is going to be 5-yard penalty. Offsides. I saw El Toro go into the neutral zone pretty early in the play, and so that's obviously not too surprising that they called the flag on him. So that's still 4th down, but it's going to be a little more manageable. So they got him again. So now it's going to be 1st down for Valhalla, the easy way or the hard way, no matter how you look at it. All right, so we got 2nd down and 6, 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Counting down here in the 2nd half. I'm going to leave you in a few minutes, and I think it's going to be Abigail and Ode's show. So Abigail Metch and Ode Youssef are going to entertain you with play-by-play and color. And Ramsey Romano makes a nice move. That's going to be across the middle, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. Went through the hands of two Norsemen. One would be John Howard, and the other one would be John Boyd. So Ben Howard, sorry. Ben Howard and John Boyd. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 6 for Valhalla. So 3rd down and 6 with 7 minutes left to go in the half. Every possession is valuable. Ramsey Romano in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap. And that ball is going to be complete, I believe, right at where it needed to be at the sticks. And let's see if they put those sticks down and give us a 1st down. And that's going to be 1st down for Valhalla, under 7 minutes left to go. And that's a nice completion. And here goes Valhalla up at right on the 1-yard line. And that's going to be a handoff to Nehemiah Brown. That's a touchdown for Nehemiah Brown. And guess what? Valhalla is right back in this game. Hendrickson's PAT will tie up this game. And I tell you what, those people that came down from Orange County, and if they thought Valhalla was going to roll over, they're sadly mistaken.
Exactly.
And it's homecoming, and the homecoming spirit.
Yep.
The spirit of Odin tonight, urging these Norsemen on to victory. And 6:44 left to go as Ian Hendrickson takes the field to kick this point after.
No, my.
And that's a muffed snap. And they try to convert something out of it, and nothing good came of it. So, unfortunately,
they're still trying.
It's going to be a point short. 6:44 left to go in the game, which probably just means at some point Valhalla goes for 2, which is not the worst thing in the world. We do have the offense for it. And El Toro hasn't really proven to stop Valhalla either. Valhalla's actually probably stopped itself more than El Toro has, although El Toro has moved the ball at will too, so that's no insult to them.
And I think this is going to set the tempo for the rest of the game. They're now, a point shy, but they're close, and they can prove that they can score just as much as the Chargers can.
And I'll tell you this, El Toro, I think, is ranked in the top 100 in the state of California. I think they're like top 10 team, obviously, in the southern section, which is just filled with top-notch teams. So, obviously, I think for a young kid at Valhalla not ever playing a team from Orange County, and here's a Romano's kick.
Oh, that was a false start.
You might be a little intimidated. I mean, El Toro's a fabulous program. They've won CIF. They have great tradition. They have great history. So, obviously, you've heard about their quarterback. And now, guess what? With 6:44 left in the second half or first half, you realize that you can probably play with them, and not just play with them. You're doing quite well.
Exactly.
So you're down a point, but definitely got a whole lot of football left. And if I was really good at math, I'd tell you how many total points have been scored in this half. But I'll tell you, and I think people can convert that math at home. But it's pretty impressive. 28-27. Your Chargers from El Toro leading Valhalla by a point. Ramsey Romano's going to tee this ball up. Now, here's an interesting little thing to think about while you're sitting at home. They moved that kick back, and he's been kicking it deep into the end zone, so maybe we'll be all right. But we have not seen an El Toro player be able to successfully return a kick. And guess what? Ramsey Romano's kick's going to go deep enough into the end zone. We don't have to worry about it there either. So even with the penalty, no harm, no foul. So 6:44 left to go in the second quarter. Chargers are up 28-27. And I haven't read the newspaper. This might be the only Charger game most people get to see this week. I don't know if the San Diego Chargers are still blacked out or not. But anyway, here's some Charger football for you. A little different variety, but exciting nonetheless. All right, so here comes Manning. Manning back to pass. And it passes complete. And it looks like it's complete to number 88, who's had just many receptions tonight. That's Cody White. So first down, moving the chains. Connor Manning in the shotgun where he'll be all night. Pass is complete again to number 88, Cody White. So basically, once again, to remind anybody at home, if there's any part of the broadcast you'd like to see again, we will be replaying this for forever on demand. And here's a handoff to number 5, Jacob Fernari, and he's going to have a first down for Valhalla. And I believe first down for El Toro. And I was just trying to see the number on the tackle there. And that was Giuseppe Castanos on the tackle. First down for the Chargers. We're going to try the deep ball. He's dink and dunked all night, and he's got number 7 wide open, Dominic Collins. And Dominic Collins is going to say that he stepped out at the 12-yard line. But, that's, once again, another feature of this offense. Short yardage, 7-8 yards here and there. Maybe you fall asleep a little bit. Maybe, he goes, looks like he's running the out, and all of a sudden he's flying down the hash mark there, and he's wide open, and then nice catch, but he does step out. Thank goodness for Valhalla. But it is a first down for the Chargers. one thing I've learned so far, El Toro can sure temper the enthusiasm of Valhalla pretty quickly with their offense. We have a little screen out to the wide receiver and not a tackle to be seen. And number 88 is going to be really close to being – that is a touchdown for the Chargers. So, obviously, El Toro not going to sit by and let Valhalla climb all the way back into this game and get ahead. They're going to add some points of their own. And once again, not to beat the drum too much here, but you see the value of the spread offense there. Give the ball to number 88, Mr. Cody White. Let him make a play. We can't tackle him. And he's into the end zone for another touchdown for the Chargers. And the kick by the Chargers is up, and it is good. Roger Howard adds that extra point. It's going to be 35-27, 5:57 left to go in the half. That drive took all of about a minute. So, really, Valhalla's got to answer, but maybe run some clock here. Answer, and we're getting really demanding and up here in the box. Not only do we want Valhalla to score, but we want them to score slowly.
Yes.
So where's that 5 minute and 57-second drive? That right now would be great. And we apologize for all of you football aficionados at home. We know that's about impossible to just, order up a slow drive for a touchdown. So once again, we'd also like to extend a thank you to those of you that have stuck around and continued to watch our webcast tonight. We have some internet issues every now and then, and if you do miss something, like we said before, if you do want to see it again, it'll be on demand this evening, and you'll have a chance to start seeing that, and as well as watch any of our home games that we've covered. Roger Howard teed up, all ready to go for the Chargers. He's going to kick off. And we have Nehemiah Brown and Kevin Mills back there. Kevin Mills looked like he could have fielded that about the 1 yard line, but it's off his fingers into the end zone. And Valhalla will bring the ball out on the 20-yard line and start this possession. Down 8 points. One of the things, too, and I don't know what the overall feeling was going into this game. Did Valhalla boys believes they have a chance, but down 8 points at this point in the game, I don't think anybody's happy with that. I obviously think they see if we make a couple tackles here and there, and we don't have a miscue here there on offense, and this game is maybe a little different. Kevin Mills in motion. Ramsey Romano surveys that defense, and we're going to probably have a procedural call here against Valhalla. I don't know if we were set off our motion, and I believe that might be the call, and that's going to move us back in a direction that we don't really want to go.
No.
So about 50 seconds left from me not talking anymore, and I'm sure there's people at home rejoicing. We don't have to listen to that guy anymore. But taking my spot will be Ode Youssef and Abigail Metch, and they're gonna talk Valhalla football with you and take you to the halftime, where they're just going to let the halftime show speak for itself, and we'll have some fireworks, and then I'll be back up here, and maybe you'll mute the computer at that point when I come back. Pass out to John Todd is complete, and he's going to be brought down by number 6, Evan Acker, quite quickly on the tackle there. Second down for Valhalla. Valhalla quickly up to the line of scrimmage. And I know Valhalla wants to go up tempo. That's their style of play. But once again, you may want to work the clock a little bit. That's just the conservative football in me. But what do I know? Pass by Ramsey Romano down the middle. That's completed. Almost complete to Kevin Mills. He had it in his hand, but that would have been a heck of a circus catch. But he would have been off to the races had he been able to hold that. And that would have been pretty exciting play one way or the other. But as it stands, that's going to be 3rd down and 12 for Valhalla. 5:19 left to go in the half. Desperately do not want to turn this ball over to Mr. Manning at this point. And El Toro would only be too happy to take the ball back at this point as well. Ramsey Romano in the shotgun, or it looks like pistol formation. No motion this time. He surveys the field. He's going to throw this ball. This can be just a little out of the reach of Kevin Mills. That was his intended receiver. Looked like he was caught up a little bit with the defender. I don't think it was pass interference, but there definitely was a route issue there. Yeah. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and that's going to bring on the punter, and that's going to be Ian Hendrickson. And really, this is it's only the second punt of tonight for Valhalla. And the first time, I believe, maybe it's the 3rd punt. Sorry. The second punt, though, number 6, Evan Acker had a little trouble with it, and Valhalla was able to force a turnover.
You're off.
All right, so I'll take you through this punt, and then we're going to make a little change at this point. Hendrickson's punt is away. Acker stays away from it, and that ball's going to get downed, I hope, at about the 45-yard line, and that's where Manning's going to take over, and this is where I leave the chairs. So we're going to hand this over to good hands. We have 2 students, Ode Youssef, Abigail Metch, in the seat. They're going to do a little play-by-play, tell you a little bit about what's going on. Enjoy.
Turn on mine right now. Okay, folks, Ode Youssef here for Orange Nation TV, filling in for Mr. Owens the last 5 minutes or so of the game. And the live stream right now is currently buffering for some reason. Our internet connection is not exactly the best here in the press box. But there is a flag on the play right now, and I'll guide you through what we can see on Valhalla, it looks like. And the teams have gone to their respective sidelines. And they're at the 47-yard line at this moment of 3rd down. And at halftime, there's going to be a great show. The if you can see, maybe not, that they're setting up for the homecoming crowning of King and Queen and other shows. I'll be right back. I'm going to try fixing this problem with our viewers at home. And 1 second. Okay, folks, we're back. It is 1st and 10 Valhalla. Ramsey Romano with a pass incomplete to the sideline of Valhalla. It was actually a Valhalla was able to take it on the 4th down from the Chargers of El Toro, and it is now 2nd down and 10. We are on the 37-yard line of the Norsemen, and about 3-4 minutes left in the game. 2nd and 10, and yeah. Ramsey Romano back with the pass. It's long to incomplete to Brian Macias, number 15. Because I can't hear anything. It's now 3rd and 10 Valhalla. With 3 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the game. Ramsey Romano back for the snap in the 2nd quarter. And he has some pressure, but he's rolling out. Makes the pass, and it's completed to Kevin Mills, number 1, for a 1st down on the 45-yard line of El Toro. And great pass, great catch. He was able to get a few yards extra and you know, set a new tempo for this down. Hopefully we get another 1st down and make our way to the end zone. And there's a 1-yard gain from Jihad Elder. And 2nd and 9 for Valhalla. Ramsey Romano back to receive the snap. Looking for a receiver. Has pressure. Throws. Completed pass to number. And it's going. And he is down on the 1-yard line. Number 88, Ben Howard. It's a great catch, great run. Able to bring him down, unfortunately, just short of the touchdown. But now it's 1st and goal. Norseman close to the zone. Ramsey Romano takes it up the middle. And we have waiting for a call, a touchdown, Norseman. So that was a great run-in by Ramsey Romano, or throw-in, or whatever you want to call it. And the score is now 33-35 with the extra point coming up. And it is no good. So the score will stay 33-35. Valhalla trailing by 2 to the versus the El Toro Chargers. And, 2-point deficit now, but at least their hopes are up. Their tempo is good. They've scored another touchdown, great, right before the half, and hopefully they can continue make a stop here and some good plays to score a touchdown, finish this half off. And we have Ramsey Romano up to kick once again, like normal. And in the back, this is my first time doing this, if you haven't noticed, for people at home. And great kick, and looks like it's going out of bounds, and there's a flag on the play. And now we have the El Toro Chargers, 1st and 10, receiving the ball. They now at the 30-yard line instead of the normal 20 because of that penalty. And we have their Connor Manning in the back. Defense needs to stop here. And if they get that, I think it will make a great tempo for the rest of the game for the Norsemen, and hopefully lead to more scores. It's about 7-yard gain now, 2nd and 3 for the El Toro Charger. Spencer Havard had the tackle. Manning back again. Low snap to number Fornari. El Toro 1st down. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So Manning back again. It is 1st and 10. He hands the ball to Funari for a for a stop about the where they started. It's a gain of 1. And there is an injury on the field. That is number 21, number 21, Deshaun Tone, injured on the play. The trainers are with him, and hopefully could be anything at this point. Hope he recovers steadily. And once again, we apologize for your folks at home if there's trouble with the internet. We are testing our new 4G internet. That's Verizon's issue, not exactly ours at the moment. So we're trying to sort things out, and it will be live on demand on YouTube and on Play on Sports. If you search Valhalla High School on playonsports.com, you will be able to find the game, along with all the downs and such that are available. And he is getting up, being walked off with the trainers. And hopefully he will be back. El Toro has come back on the field. It's about 2nd and 8 with 1:52 left in this game. And Manning in the back. Receives the snap. He's looking for a receiver and finds number 3, Alec Shoffett. And looks like he's going to get a first down, brought down by Miles Speed of the Norseman. And it is a first down. And Manning back again in the shotgun. Looking for a passer. Finds number 7 to Dominic Collins, number 7. And it's a passing team, and they're showing it here on the field. Valhalla needs to stop, but we can't just tell them to do it. And they need to play good offense also. It's a combination, but another pass to Dominic Collins once again. And moving the chains, first down. And they're moving the chains, and, it's what was expected of El Toro. And hopefully we early stop here. And there is about 10 seconds left and counting. That was a complete Charger pass to number 3, Alex Shoffett. And it looks like it's a 2nd and 1, a little bit short of the first down. And he's back. It's a handoff to number Funari, to number 5, Jacob Funari. And brought down by Ryan Erzbarger, number 51 of the Valhalla Norsemen. Once again, Collins is in the back. There's still the injury. And touchdown, El Toro. It was a pass, like usual, and now their score's increasing. It's 41-33 now, and one thing we can do is hope Valhalla can make something by the second half. There's 21 seconds left, so maybe not that much stuff they can do, but they will be. We'll be seeing some more in the second half. Obviously, the game is certainly not over. We have a lot more time to play and a lot more time to score, hopefully for the Norsemen, but we will see what happens. And it was good. Kick. 21 seconds remaining. It is now 42-33. The El Toro Chargers from Orange County leading. And we're getting ready for halftime. I don't think you can see from your camera, but it will be the announcing of the King and Queen of our 2012 Homecoming Corps, along with videos of each and other celebrations, as well as a fireworks show and other cheerleading dance celebrations. So we hope you stick around, and if your internet decides to bug up during that happens, we can watch it on demand, of course, on YouTube. Play on Sports. Just search for Valhalla High School. We're the only one on playonsports.com. So we will, you'll find us. And it's a kick in the back to receive. And it goes in the end zone on the 20-yard line. There is 21 seconds left with Ramsey Romano and his squad coming out to see what they can do with time left. And looks like they're going to just knee it before the half. Let the clock run, get their players some rest. But you do not have to rest. You can stick around for our wonderful halftime celebrations of the King and Queen. Once again, we'll have the camera pointing down. And we have Abigail Mesh to explain more of what's happening. Abigail?
Abigail Metch here with Orange Nation TV. Stay tuned for an amazing halftime show here at Valhalla High School, where our homecoming king and queen will be crowned. Get ready to see a great fireworks show. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast, and we appreciate everyone watching and supporting our Norsemen.
And I am back. Thank you, Abigail. That was great. And now we have the... Excuse me, I had a cough there. The cheerleaders and dancers are going to be performing something.
This was with the lights off, usually with the homecoming thing.
That's fine. Yeah. And we're going to be setting this up so they can be... Okay. And it looks like we have... cheer on the field, and they will be performing something for us to enjoy. Hopefully we get our camera down there. If you are if there is some internet connectivity problems, we do apologize. We're trying the best we can. It's not the most ideal location for this event, but enjoy the show and stick around. Hello, folks. Oda Yusuf here, Orange Nation TV. Homecoming show is over at this point, and we apologize for any sound problems that you might have had or internet connectivity issues, and we've been trying to work them out. But if you didn't know, it was the King and Queen was happening right now, and they were crowned successfully, and now the game is going to be starting soon. And again, our internet connectivity is going to be a little awry throughout the game, and we apologize for it. So we want to thank you for sticking with us. We will be back in a little bit, and thank you very much. And kickoff is going on right now. The El Toro Chargers kicking off to the Valhalla Norsemen. And they have received the ball. They're up at the 20. And they are going up to the 30. Kevin Mills was able to take the ball. And we are on our way to the third quarter. Your score is 42-33. El Toro Chargers leading. And Mr. John Owens is back right now.
All right, I'm firmly back in my seat from being down on the track. We're underway in the second half. Having a little bit of an internet issue. If you're watching this on demand, you won't really notice. But if you're trying to watch this live, we're struggling a little bit at the moment, but hopefully we'll get everything caught up to speed. It is second down for the Norsemen. Hand off to Jihad Elder. And he's going to get a few yards there on that carry. So the start of the third quarter, we have 33-42. Valhalla is on the short end of the score right now, but it's been definitely a very exciting game thus far. A lot of scoring. 75 points in the first half. If this is basketball, high school basketball, you'd be pretty excited with the score, but this is football, so even more amazing. Mills goes in motion. Ramsey looking to pass here on third down. And he has it complete out to Mills. It'll be at the 40-yard line, right on the nose of where the chains had to be for a first down. We'll see where they mark this. And they're going to give him a first down, and here comes the Norsemen moving down the field. Hopefully they can find themselves back in the end zone and try to square this game up a little bit. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary of the last few minutes of the second half with O'Day leading the charge. And here comes Jihad Elder right up the middle, easily his biggest carry of the game, and he's not done yet. He's down to the 39-yard line of El Toro. There's a couple Chargers there on the tackle. I think Brian Chinchilla and I believe Trent Turner, number 11, were teamed up to make that tackle. Definitely the longest run of the night for Valhalla. Play action pass, nice pickup on the block there by Jihad Elder across the middle. That's going to be an incomplete pass intended for number 80. That's Ian Forsyth for the Valhalla. That's going to bring up second down for Valhalla. Hopefully you enjoyed the halftime fireworks and the homecoming coronation. Always a lot of fun here at Valhalla. Our theme was Valhalla through the decades. That's why you heard, hopefully you got to hear some of the music. There's a screen pass off to Jihad Elder. He takes this. He's going to turn it upfield. He's got a little room in front of him. He's going to get a nice block by John Todd right there. And Jihad Elder is going to get into the end zone, and that's exactly the way you want to start off the second half if you are Valhalla, and we are Valhalla because it's Orange Nation TV, and we're back in this game with 10 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Valhalla strikes first, takes the ball, opening drive of the second half right down the field. Jihad Elder, I think, is getting hot. He had a nice carry and a nice reception there, and he's able to take it right down the field. Excuse me. All right, so Valhalla's going to set up for this. Looks like we're going to go for two here. Not a bad idea, down by 3. The bad thing about it, when you miss a PAT and then you go for 2 and you miss it, now you're chasing points for the rest of the game. And you don't want to chase points, so you're already going to be doing that to some degree because you're playing such a prolific offense. And here comes the option. Ramsey's going to keep that, and he's going to get some help from his offensive line, but I don't believe he's actually going to get in for the 2-point try. He fails there, so Valhalla is going to be down 3. But you got to go for 2 there. I mean, it's a numbers game. You can always, if you can get a stop, you can come down, kick a field goal, and tie it up. So obviously a good decision there. I'm sure a chart somewhere said that was the right decision. But either way, Valhalla does go for 2, and they fail in their attempt. And they're down 3 with 10 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And no difference between the first half and the second half in terms of scoring by both teams. Obviously, here comes the Chargers, and we know that they had very little, if any, trouble in the first half trying to score. All right, Ramsey Romano tees up that ball. And here comes Ramsey Romano's kick. That's going to go sail quite deep into the end zone. That's not coming out. 39-42, 10 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Here comes the man of the hour. Definitely the man on a lot of colleges' wish list. Number 17, Connor Manning. One of the top quarterbacks in California. I believe Utah bound, if I'm incorrect. I don't believe I am, but he is. The last time I read, it was Utah bound. And he's also chasing a certain quarterback that starts at USC's Southern Section record right now. So that's also quite impressive. A delayed handoff right here. And here's Jacob Fernari. Jacob Fernari, nice chunk of yards off the left-hand side. And he's going to have the Chargers up to midfield. And once again, you know, one of the things that shows a little bit of the dynamic side of the Charger offense, they're obviously not just one-dimensional, but they also benefit from a pretty solid running game so far against Valhalla. Once again, we'll watch this play. I'll come back, and there's Fernari again on a carry. He's going to be over the 50. 45, definitely right into Norseman territory. What I was going to say earlier is any of these games that we have broadcast to this point, you can watch over and over and over again on Orange Nation TV. We also put out highlights each week. If you want to watch the homecoming video that we showed of court, we'll be posting that online as well as soon as maybe this evening. So please stick around and enjoy Valhalla football all year long. And there's a handoff to Fenari again. It's worked several times in a row so far this drive, and so why not stick with it? Giuseppe Castanos, one of a handful of Norsemen that were able to bring Fenari down. This is going to bring up second down, a rare second down for El Toro. El Toro, swing pass out to the flat, and that's going to be incomplete. That's going to bring up third down. That's a different receiver. Alex Schaffet was actually quite busy in the first half, and they're trying to get the ball back to him there. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied being down there at halftime talking on a microphone. Limited water and kind of a hot evening, so all this has kind of combined to make me a little challenged when we're trying to talk here. I believe that was number 10, and they don't have a number 10 on the roster that I can see. Number 10, and he's not on the El Toro roster that I can see. I'll try to get a name for number 10. And I was just told that's Jacob Frigger, number 10. Jacob Frigger on the carry for El Toro. So first down and 10 for El Toro. Play action pass. Manning's got a man deep, and that's going to be a completed pass for a touchdown. That's Dominic Collins, I believe his second touchdown of the evening there. Very similar to the last one there on the left-hand side of the field, going deep and getting open and scoring a touchdown for El Toro. So just like that, El Toro answers right back. 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and El Toro responds to Valhalla's volley in the first half there, or second half, excuse me. The kick by Roger Howard is up and good. So that's going to bring a 39-49, 10-point lead for the Chargers. And, you know, I don't know what was exactly in the El Toro mindset coming into this game. I have to feel that they felt confident coming down here. They've scored a ton of points against everybody so far this year. So obviously they have to feel confident traveling down here. But, you know, Valhalla's definitely given them a battle. They're not leaving here without any battle scars. And hopefully if Valhalla can get a score here, you know, they'll be able to answer back. And once again, we're still waiting for a couple stops here by Valhalla's defense. And, you know, it could be a whole new ball game. But either way, you're going to see a lot more offense. This is not going anywhere. I doubt this is going to become a 3-yard in a cloud of dust type of contest anytime soon. All right, there's a kick into the end zone. That will be excuse me, Kevin Mills is unable to bring that one out because the kick is in the end zone. So, O'Day, how did things go in my absence?
They went well, team-wise. Valhalla with a touchdown, and they went good for the most part.
Right, out of shotgun formation for Ramsey Romano. He's going to roll to the right. He's looking across the middle of the field and to the right side of the field, excuse me, and there is nobody there. That's an incomplete pass. That's second down. So I've watched football a lot. I enjoy football quite a bit. Obviously, that's what I spend a lot of my downtime doing is watching football. And I'll tell you what, you don't see a lot of games with a 49-39 score with 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Definitely an unusual type of situation, but a lot of fun. I think if you're just the casual fan, want to watch a game, you have to enjoy this. If you like defense at all, like I said, I don't think you'd enjoy this at all. Here comes the screen again. That's been pretty successful. This time to Ben Howard, and he's not going to get much. In fact, I think he's going to lose a few yards there. That's going to bring up a third down and long. This is really El Toro football right here. You know, they probably are a bend, don't break type of defense in this sense that they've given up points, but they only need to stop you every now and then because they seem to score quite frequently, pretty much every time they have the ball. So if they stop you every now and then, they're always up a possession or two, much like arena football, which is something I mentioned earlier. A lot of fun for everybody. But here's Ramsey Romano looking to sideline. Coach Colin Erdley getting a different signal to call here on 3rd down and 11. Excuse me, 3rd down. Now they're going to get a delay of game, and this is nothing Valhalla wanted to do. And one of the unfortunate things in high school football is you don't really have a play clock out there. So you're basically, pretty much relying on an internal clock, and you're also relying on the official being able to count. I don't dispute that wasn't a delay of game there. I mean, it seemed like an awful long time to be trying to get a playoff. But either way, that's going to bring up 3rd and even longer. 3rd down and 17 right here for Valhalla. Definitely a position nobody wants to be in, but they've had success on 3rd and long so far tonight, so we'll see if that remains true. That pass is almost picked off. It was intended originally for Kevin Mills, and I believe that's number 9. Number 9, Anthony Jackson of the Chargers, is able to break that up. It was a nice play. He read it from quite a distance, and he was able to close in on the play and tip the pass. So now Valhalla's in a tough spot. They have to punt. You have Ian Hendrickson taking the field to punt. And not only do you have to punt here, but you have to put your defense back out there. And you got to hope right now for a turnover, a stop of some sort, because if you go down more than 10 at this point, it could get a little ugly around here. Although Valhalla, you have a lot of strong competitors on that team. You have a great coaching staff. I don't think anybody's quitting. There's a lot of pressure there. And that's going to turn out to be a pretty darn good punt. They're going to let that go, and Valhalla's going to let it go. They're going to roll down to about the 47-yard line of El Toro, and I'll tell you what, that worked out pretty well as far as a punt. Yep. That's a nice punt for Ian Hendrickson. Nice chunky yards there for him. And Valhalla's going to come out on defense, and they got a lot of pressure on the defense. There's going to be pressure coming into the game no matter what, and nothing changes here other than the fact you're down 10, 7:55 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and you desperately need to stop. Even better, if we're going to request something here, let's force a turnover for a score. Let's give Ramsey Romano in the offense a break. There's a handoff to number 5, and he's going to change direction. We're having a little trouble tackling him tonight, and that's not good. Number 5 is Jacob Fernari. He's had a nice night tonight. He's had a 43-yard touchdown run. He's had a bunch of carries for considerable yardage. There's no different right there. But the number one problem with that whole play is I believe the defensive scheme we had there put kids in the right position, but you got to make the play. You can't miss tackles. And there's your completed pass for 8 yards. That turns into about a 13, 14-yard gain. And that's the beauty and the frustrating thing of the El Toro offense. That's Cody White on the reception. We're going to move the chains again for El Toro. So 1st down and 10 once again for Connor Manning again for the El Toro Chargers. And he's going to hand off. This time Valhalla is able to make a nice play on number 5, but he's able to push ahead for a few more yards. So once again, we have players in the zip code. We have players there that are willing to make a play. You're just not getting it done to the point where you need to against a team like El Toro. Momentum definitely in favor of the Chargers here. Manning back to pass. A lot of time. He's going to take off and run. He hasn't done much of this tonight, and he's going to get a nice block, and he's going to hop into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for El Toro on a very nice run there by Connor Manning, showing his versatility. Not only is he a passer, he was able to point to a block, and he got that block, and he hopped into the end zone. And that's going to put 6 more on the board for El Toro. That's going to take the lead 55-39 with 6:51 left to go in the 3rd quarter. So there's going to be plenty of highlights for the highlight reel for Orange Nation TV this week. Unfortunately, quite a few of them for the Chargers, but there's still highlights nonetheless. A lot of good athletes out here. A lot of respect I have for the team that Valhalla is playing right now. Definitely a well-oiled machine and everything people say they are. So Valhalla right now with down 39-56 with 6:51 left to go in the 3rd quarter. now's the opportunity. I don't believe El Toro is going to take their foot off the gas. That's not seems like a type of offense that can do that, actually. Valhalla's got to play strong. They're going to play tough teams this year. Helix doesn't throw the ball like El Toro does, but Helix is physical, and they'll run and run and run, which is almost as frustrating and tough to take. So right now we're going to see the mettle, the character of Valhalla's team at this point in the game. They can score quickly. Things turn. Things could easily turn here, and we'll see what Valhalla has to do. We'll see what they do in response to that last touchdown. So if you missed any of the homecoming action, want to see some highlights, want to hear about field hockey too. If you want to hear about field hockey or volleyball, check back to Orange Nation TV this weekend. We'll have updates on all those teams and seeing what your Orange Nation Norsemen are doing. Mills is going to field this kick at about the 2-yard line, and Kevin Mills is going to be up over the 20. We have a flag come out, and normally in this part of the field or on a kickoff return like that, looks like this one, though, there's another flag, and I believe this one's going to be on El Toro. There was a whistle blown, and they just kept on trying to bring down Kevin Mills, unsuccessfully, but still, you don't need that at any time, and you definitely don't need it in this stretch of the game. We do have an injured Norseman on the field. So right now, O'Day, do you have anything exciting for us?
Well, game is not the way Valhalla wants it, but hopefully they can gain some momentum, do something to give them some points on the board, and put some gas in their tank.
So after the injury, we're going to do some sorting out. If you are watching, we're experiencing a little internet issues. We're buffering quite a bit. We hope that you'll stay with us. If you watch this on demand, obviously you're not going to have the same issue. So we have a hold against Valhalla on the kick return. And I think we're having an unsportsmanlike dead ball foul against the Chargers. So a net gain of 5 yards for Valhalla, I believe. So we'll take that. If you're watching this live right now, if you're still with us, I don't know exactly how the buffering works at home. I don't know if we just jumped up, and I've got a few texts on how things are going. Hopefully you're still there at home. As we take 6 minutes and 42 seconds left to go in the third quarter, El Toro of Orange County is 56, and Valhalla has 39. Ramsey Romano operating out of the pistol like he does most times. And here's Jihad Elder. Nice carry off to the left side. Going to get about 3-4 yards. And I do believe we have some first half stats that we're going to try to get to you shortly. Ramsey Romano rolls out to the right, and he had John Boyd, but John Boyd could not hold on to the ball. Nice tackle there by number 11, Trent Turner. We've said his name a few times tonight for El Toro. He seems to be pretty active out there on the field for the Chargers. And this is going to bring up 3rd down and 6 for Valhalla. And one of the things about two up-tempo teams who like to throw the ball around, when you have an incomplete pass, the clock stops. And sometimes that's not always the best thing. In this case, it extends the game, and we'll see what that does. It scored. Nice pass out to Ben Howard. He does a heck of a job holding on to that because that was a nice pop he received there by, I believe, number 9. Looks like Anthony Jackson for the Chargers. I believe that's the number I saw. But that's a first down for Valhalla. Back in business, getting up here to midfield, getting close to the logo or the middle of the logo for Valhalla. Here's Ramsey Romano. There's another screen to Jihad Elder. And the Chargers sniffed that one out pretty easily, and they're going to lose some yards there. So that's going to bring up second down and a loss of a few there. Clock is rolling. We're well under 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Ramsey Romano dropping back to pass. He's got a pass wide open. Kevin Mills. Nice block out there by Ben Howard. And we're down to the 34-yard line for Valhalla. Valhalla on the move. Valhalla doing what Valhalla can do, and that is move the ball. So first down and 10 for Valhalla. Kevin Mills in motion. Pass to Kevin Mills after motion, and he's going to get finished off out of bounds there. And obviously I'm not right there, but it looked like a pretty good hit out of bounds over there. But that'll bring up second down for Valhalla. If you like to follow Valhalla football, and we of course think you probably do if you're watching Orange Nation TV right now, we have a 4 straight weeks of Valhalla football being away. There's Brian Macias is going to get the handoff off the motion play. He's around the left-hand side, back up to the line of scrimmage. So for the next 4 weeks, Valhalla is going to be on the road. So they've had a pretty nice start with most of their games at home, 3 of their first 4 games here at home. But they're going to go on the road next week and the next 3 weeks after that. We do hope Orange Nation TV will be able to bring you one of those games. We'll let you know. We'll post. We're thinking maybe West Hills. We'll see how things unfold for Orange Nation TV, but we hope to cover one of those games on the road. Ramsey Romano rolls out. He's under pressure, but he's able to get out of it, and he's going to turn it upfield for another nice gain to the 10 and 5, and he's going to hit the pylon. That's a touchdown for Valhalla. The Norsemen are not done yet.
Definitely not.
So 4:29 left to go in the third quarter. Valhalla answers back. More specifically, Ramsey Romano is able to get loose for another nice run and a touchdown. He's been has shown his athleticism quite often tonight, and got himself out of some pretty tough positions here or situations. Here's a 2-point try again for Valhalla. See if they can get one of these. That's a handoff to Nehemiah Brown, and he's going to get brought well short of this 2-point conversion being successful. And so Valhalla falls short. And once again, we've talked a little bit about chasing points, and that's, kind of contributed to the lopsided score. But 56-39, 4 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. I guess we did not get in the end zone. I thought we had done that, and I thought he hit the pylon. So I apologize at home. Valhalla did not get in, and I do apologize. Passes, jump ball for John Todd, and that's incomplete. That's going to bring up I believe 3rd down and 5 for Valhalla. Once again, I apologize. I guess from my vantage point, I thought it hit the pylon, and I knew we had to go for 2, so that's, I guess, where I got that. So 3rd down and 5 here for Valhalla. They must have, obviously, they marked him out at the 5, and from our vantage point, obviously we're on the far side of the field. We couldn't see that he had gone out of bounds. Ramsey Romano's pass is going to be complete to end for a touchdown to Ben Howard. A nice grab, sure hands of Ben Howard. He's got an awful lot of touchdowns this year, and that's another one for him. That's going to close the gap a little bit, 56-45. Valhalla's trailing with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Here in a little bit, right after this extra point, we're going to hear some stats here. I think we're going to get a stat update. And we're excited about that. Those of you at home want to know how it's going. Okay, so 3:50 left to go in the third quarter. It's 46-56, 10-point lead for the Chargers of El Toro of Orange County. So The first thing I want you to do for all our Orange Nation fans out there is I want you to introduce yourself to the Orange Nation audience and tell us what grade you're in and your name, and tell us some stats.
All right. Well, sorry, I'm a little hoarse. I'm getting a little sick. Well, my name's Alex. I'm Alex Coates. I'm a 10th grader here at Valhalla, and here's some Valhalla stats for you guys. So from the first half, we have about 266 yards right here. That's That's pretty impressive.
Quite a lot, yeah, in the first half. Total offense for Valhalla.
It's pretty impressive. We have number 8 on as a rusher for excuse me. It looks like a 5-yard rush on the first one. We have team drive. We have number 7 to 88 in the first play after the touchdown, starting at the 42-yard line, and it went to the touchdown. So there you go.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of interesting stats you told us right there. If you were wondering who that was, is number 5, Jacob Fernari, able to return Ramsey Romano's kick up to, looks like about the 34-yard line, 33-yard line for the Chargers. Anything else you want to wow us with?
Just kind of a last one to leave you guys. Our quarterback, number 7, on a pass to receiving number 8, did a 14-yard pass in the first half. So some pretty good yards right there.
Absolutely, and we do appreciate those stat updates, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you a little bit later.
All right. It's great. Thanks for having me.
Fernari on the handoff, and he's going to be up for first down, and he's still on his feet. He's a very difficult running back to bring down tonight for Valhalla. He's had a lot of success running, and another nice carry for Fernari. So if my calculations are correct, between these two teams through a little over 2.5 quarters of play, we have 102 total points. That's a pretty impressive amount of points. Manning back to pass. He's got a guy open, and Nehemiah Brown is there on the coverage. And one of the very first times I can remember tonight, Cody White dropping anything, and he dropped that pass. A nice coverage there by Nehemiah Brown, able to keep up with Cody White. 2nd down and 10 for the Chargers. All right, that's a handoff to Fernari, and he's going to be right up the gut there for another 5 yards. And I would like to think that most of his carries tonight have been 4 or 5 yards at minimum. So he's had a very successful night running. The ball for the Chargers, definitely a side of the offense that probably doesn't get a lot of attention because of the way that Manning is able to throw the ball around the field. So once again, he's adding to the complexity and depth of the Charger offense. 3:09 left to go in the third quarter. It's 46-56, Chargers ahead of the Norsemen on Valhalla's homecoming night. All right, there is a flag on the play, and I'm sorry I was a little slow on the uptake there. I didn't quite see the flag. It was thrown on the far side. It is against El Toro. That's going to move him back. You can hear our crowd chanting defense, probably a little bit on my open mic. And we definitely need a little bit of defense here. That would be a nice thing for Valhalla. That would definitely help. Play action pass. Manning's going to go deep, and he's got number 7, Dominic Collins, wide open, and he's going to waltz into the end zone. I think I've seen that play before. I think I've seen it now 3 times. Deceptive speed by Dominic Collins. He gets wide open, and he was able, like I said, pretty much to walk into the end zone, and that adds insult to injury. Valhalla's fought very diligently tonight. There's no doubt, but that's pretty tough to stop. Yeah. And nice ball there by Manning. And you got number 13, Roger Howard of the Chargers, going to try to add an extra point here with 2:54 left to go in the third quarter. We're going to get some stats here by Tyler Roy, the man I continually call Tyler Orr, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll have to have you change your name, Mr. Roy. Do you have stats? So have you been keeping stats, Tyler? Did I put you on the spot?
Yeah, we have.
For El Toro?
For Valhalla.
Okay.
I've been keeping for Valhalla.
Do you have any numbers or anything that stands out for you right now?
Well, so far we got quite a few touchdowns. We have currently 3 pass and 3 rushing touchdowns, and two of the rushing touchdowns were by Ramsey, and all the pass touchdowns are on big yardage.
Absolutely. They've been able to make some yards after catch, and we've had some nice catches.
Oh, yeah, we have.
And definitely been an exciting game. I mean, you know, I guess as a football purist, if I'm El Toro, obviously I'm excited that I scored 63 points, but I've given up 46.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I guess I'm old, and you know, I like a little bit of defense with my football, but I haven't seen a whole lot of it tonight. And then once again, that's not a rip on any of these kids. They're giving it their very best. The schemes on both sides of the teams are doing great. Coaching is great. It's just pretty brutal to stop either one of these teams, and specifically the Chargers have had a pretty nice day down here with their San Diego County CIF foe on our homecoming, unfortunately. But here comes Ramsey Romano, going to try to answer back. Ramsey Romano's pass is incomplete to John Todd, just off his fingertips. Turned out of his route, and the ball was right there where it's supposed to be, and it's just a little difficult to bring down. That's going to bring up second down. Yep. Anything else, any other things that jump out at you?
Well, Ben Howard has over 100 receiving yards again.
Another solid night for Ben Howard, and that's going to speak well going into league. And that's what really Valhalla's got to start looking at is, you know, where do they go from here? You know, they obviously got a little bit more of a game to play, and hopefully they can climb back in it. But obviously they got to take something from this for the rest of the year. Yeah, and that's a delayed handoff, and I do believe that's the first carry of the night for Jason Jefferson. Yep. That's a nice carry for him, move the sticks a little bit. Excuse me, third down. I think he gets about 5-6 yards there. Third down and 4 for Valhalla. Clock's running, under 2:30 left to go in the third quarter. It is 63-46 in favor of El Toro. And I think they got El Toro on that. I think that's pretty obvious. He seems to be offsides there. So Tyler, they tell me you're a math whiz. You know math.
Yeah.
So how many math? If I gave you a word problem, let's say a team from Orange County plays a team from San Diego County, and there's 2 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the third quarter. How many total points would they have?
Well, I definitely wouldn't guess that it would be 109.
Yeah, but it is. And that's a ball up to Ben Howard, and he's going to make an adjustment on that. Once again, beautiful catch, and he's a tough guy to bring down. 24 down to the 24-yard line of El Toro, and that's a nice pitch and catch there. And the ball's a little underthrown, but Ben Howard was able to make an adjustment and bring it down. So I think we're going to add to that 109 total, I hope.
I sure hope so.
All right. So anything else, Tyler?
I'm thoroughly impressed with Ramsey Romano's presence in the pocket right now.
And that's another nice pass, and John Todd's not going to be able to come up with it, but the ball was definitely where it's supposed to be.
Right where it was.
On his back shoulder there, and that's a nice pass there, but it's incomplete, second down and 10.
So, like I was saying, like his presence in the pocket, when he's getting some pressure, he's stepping up and he's making a throw or getting a little extra yards by reading the defense and finding a hole. It's really helping out the offense by getting a few extra yards here and there.
I would definitely agree. He's definitely, as a senior, and Mills goes in motion, he's definitely looking like a strong, like he's in control back there in the backfield. And Mills gets the carry there, I believe. No, Jahad Elder, excuse me. And Jahad Elder makes a nice tough run up the middle, and yards have been hard to come by for Jahad Elder. You know, he had over 200 yards the last time we covered Valhalla football. Tonight, not as many, but good, valiant effort there. Brings up third down and a handful of yards for the Norsemen. Kevin Mills goes in motion. Ramsey Romano's pass is going to be complete to Kevin Mills, and he's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So moving the chains. There is no quit in this Norseman team, and once again, I would not hesitate to say anything could happen in the remainder of this game because points have become so quickly. All has to happen is for El Toro to throw a turnover or two, an incomplete pass, an interception, and Valhalla could be back in business. Ramsey Romano rolls out to his left, throws back across the middle, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. Brian Macias, I believe, was the intended target.
Yep, just a little bit overthrown.
Close, aren't we? All right, Ramsey Romano's pass is going to get picked off in the end zone, and that's going to be, we'll see how much damage here, but he's got a head of steam on him, and Ramsey Romano makes a nice play, and that interception was by number, I'm going to try to get a number on it. It looked like maybe number 19, Alejandro Acosta. Excuse me, that's our number 19, Joseph Moscatillo, and he returns it up to almost midfield, and the Chargers are back in business, leading 63-46 with 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. That's Cody White on the reception for the Chargers, and that's another reception for him. We missed a tackle there, Deshaun Tone, in his debut as a Norseman for this season. He's had a pretty busy night, number 21, but not necessarily enough to get a lot of pressure on Manning. But I would have to think I like Deshaun Tone's presence in future games and future league games especially. 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Manning's been everything as promised, and he's going to look to pass again. And I have no idea how many attempts he's had, but that one's going to be a completed pass to number 88, Cody White, and I believe that's a touchdown. We do have a flag on the play. It is on the near side, not where the play was. I believe I saw a flag. Maybe I'm wanting. Yes, we did see a flag. It was in the defensive secondary, so it could be holding on us, and if that's the case, this touchdown's going to stand. I see some Chargers clapping, so that's going to go against Valhalla. It's a hold against Valhalla's somewhere in the secondary, I'm sure. So with 12 seconds left to go, add another one on for the Chargers. This touchdown's going to stand, and here comes the point after attempt group for the Chargers, led by Roger Howard, who's had a pretty busy night kicking extra points. Tell you what, if I was a punter for El Toro, I'd probably quit the team because, quite frankly, you don't get a lot of times to come out and kick a ball. But maybe point after, I think I would think about that. That would be a lot of fun, a lot of work there. And his kick is up, and it's good. And that's going to add another point to the Chargers total, and that's going to be 46, with 12 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And once again, I play a lot of, maybe this is a little too revealing. People will think less of me, but I have on occasion played a little PlayStation, play a lot of college football in my spare time, which I don't have a lot of spare time. But when I do, sometimes we get a score or two that looks like this.
Yeah.
And maybe when you're playing online against somebody. But that is a real score if you're watching at home, 70-46. If you're watching this on the replay, hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you're watching it live, we really appreciate your patience with the buffering. And hopefully that hasn't led you to want to not watch the rest of it. But it will be available on demand. There's 12 seconds left to go. Valhalla's homecoming, not short on excitement, though. Lots of points. Valhalla has hung with this as best they can. Unfortunately, if you don't make a stop and you get stopped, you've given up in the, the best thing I could say is it reminds me a lot of arena football. And that is if you don't score on every possession, right, you're going to fall behind, and it's hard to come back from that. I would say that I don't know much about the teams that El Toro plays here on out, but I would think I'd like their chances to do quite well down the rest of the season. Obviously, if they play some teams that are able to match up a little bit with them, a little tougher here and there and get a few breaks, then maybe they'll struggle, but it'd be hard to see them struggle.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I know this. I'll be checking Max Preps, be checking some online sites for the rest of the year and just see how El Toro does. That kick is not going to be returned. In fact, it's well out into the D zone there on the track. Nice kickoff by Roger Howard, and 12 seconds left to go. Here comes Ramsey Romano and the rest of the Norsemen. Definitely the sad thing about it, too, is they were knocking on the door 5 yards out down here in the end zone. It could have been 7 points the other way, but that's a big swing in the wrong direction, unfortunately, for Valhalla.
That's just how the football bounces.
That's very true. In this case, that was how the ball was, intercepted, I guess, a little bit. Ramsey Romano leading his Norsemen here. This could be one of the last plays of the third quarter. And Jihad Elder is going to get wrapped up pretty nicely by number 22, Jeff Nelson. Jeff Nelson makes a nice play, and that's going to be the final few ticks here on the third quarter of Homecoming 2012. Your Chargers of El Toro are up 70-46 over Valhalla. So 24-point deficit for Valhalla going into the fourth quarter. And, the bad thing about that 24-point deficit, if you just tuned in right now, you'd say, wow, Valhalla's really gotten handled. And that's really not the case. I think I will give all the credit to El Toro's offense. I absolutely have been impressed with what they've done. I think Connor Manning is had a lot of time. So I don't know what he would do under pressure, but I'm going to say he's probably a pretty good quarterback no matter what's occurring. Yeah. But I will say this, that this game is not as lopsided as the score might indicate. And I know I'm a homer. I know I'm doing the broadcast for Orange Nation TV, and I am employed at Valhalla High School. So there's my disclosure. But Valhalla has done well.
They really have.
And there's been some plays that just didn't go their way. And when they were stopped on offense once or twice, that's really been the difference in this game. And if you go back to the first half, there was a 3rd and 15 that was converted. There was a couple fourth downs converted by El Toro. Had those been stops, this game could have been very different at this point. But, Valhalla can't be too upset. They have to play. Because El Toro, I don't believe, is going to take their foot off the gas pedal. I don't think they're going to line up in the I formation and run left and run right and run the clock out. I just don't see that. So here's Ramsey Romano back to pass. He's got Ben Howard open, but Ben Howard is unable to come up with the ball. It's been a beautiful night for football. Score aside, it's been a beautiful night for football. It's been a great night for homecoming. If you want to watch that fireworks show, if you want to watch the coronation again, we really encourage you to do so. It'll be up online, on demand later this evening, and you can watch it as many times as you would like, and we'd like you to tell other friends and family about Orange Nation TV. Play action pass. Ramsey Romano's going to look deep, and he's got John Todd deep, and that ball's going to get picked off by number 8, and he's going to return it down to about the 40-yard line. A nice interception by Chase Schrader. And El Toro is going to come out here, and I'll be anxious to see going into the fourth quarter if we are going to see Connor Manning again come out. 11 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter, 70-46, and we're going to see Connor Manning again. And once again, he's a senior. He's worked hard, and he deserves to be out here. But you'd maybe like to see a few other players possibly, and I know we don't play El Toro frequently. This is not some grudge match of, big proportions, but, maybe you'd like to see another player or two step in. But then again, Valhalla is still pretty dangerous and they could score. So it's still definitely a game that is, although I don't know how out of question it is that Valhalla's coming back, or in question the game is, but Connor Manning, for whatever it's worth, is still in the game. That's an incomplete pass. He hasn't thrown many of those tonight, so maybe he's getting a little tired.
Possibly.
2nd down and 10 for the Chargers, and that signal comes in. And whoever's calling those signals has had a lot of fun tonight because they've scored 70 points, and we still got 11 minutes left to go. That's a handoff to number 5, Jacob Finari, and he's had a busy night as well, and he's going to get a chunk of yards there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7 for the Chargers. And the one thing is the Chargers do get right up to the line, but the pace is still pretty steady, and so this game, it's not going to get any shorter. If you're planning to go to the homecoming dance, hopefully there's some homecoming dance left, and that pass is complete to number 10, I believe. Number 10. They don't have a number 10. So
it looks like number 18.
Is it number 18 or is it number 10? It's Jacob Frigger, sorry. And he got a ball earlier, and we learned his name earlier. And he's still getting some yards here and there.
It was a nice catch.
That's right. Very nice catch. 1st down and 10 for the Chargers. Pass out to the left. That looks like number 7, Dominic Collins, I believe, was on that reception. And he's had a whole bunch of touchdowns tonight, and his legs got to be a little bit tired because he's had a pretty active evening scoring.
Yeah.
All right, we got second down and 4. And he did step out of bounds. That clock stops. Connor's pass. And he's going to turn that ball over, and that ball's going to get picked up, I believe, by number 3, Spencer Havard on the play. And you know what? That's not all bad. We'll take that.
Yeah.
You're going to leave your starter out there, going to still throw the ball, and we'll pick up a turnover. That was nice. It couldn't have been gift wrapped any prettier. And let's see what Valhalla can do with this, and make some plays here and see if we can make this a little bit closer. So with 10:53 left to go, Valhalla's going to take that ball back. And we got a handoff here. I believe that's going to be Jihad Elder. No, excuse me. That's number 13. That's Jason Jefferson on the carry. His second or third carry of the game. Nice tough run there for Jason Jefferson.
Do you want it?
All right, here we go on second down. That's another handoff. And Jason Jefferson there. That's going to bring up, that's first down, actually, for Valhalla. So as we said before, Valhalla's going to hit the road for 4 straight weeks. That's going to be a tough bind for them. They're also going to start league play. They have Mount Miguel next week, which is not a league game. Used to be, but no longer league play, as Ramsey Romano is wrapped up for a loss there. It looks like number 10 for the Chargers. That's not number 10. Number 19, Joseph Moscatillo on that play. And I'm sorry if I butchered your son's name. That's just, we have no pronunciation guide, and we apologize. But that's second down and 10. Clock is running at 9:40 left to go in the third quarter. Ramsey Romano, delayed handoff to Jason Jefferson. And that's going to bring up third down. All right, third down. And let's see what Valhalla has in store here. Hopefully it's another first down. (46-70). 9 minutes left to go. Just about under 9 minutes left to go in the game for Valhalla on their homecoming. Ramsey Romano to pass over the middle, intended for number 9, Edgar Diaz, and that's going to be incomplete, and that's going to pull up fourth down, and we're going to have to give that ball back to El Toro. We'll see what quarterback comes out for the remainder of this game. We are under 9 minutes as fourth down comes up. The clock does stop on the incomplete pass. So a lot of people around the Valhalla neighborhood were saying, well, why are we playing a team from Orange County for homecoming? And the reality is we had a hole in our schedule. And
yes.
we were very lucky to get El Toro to come down and play us, actually. And you could have not played a game, but you give up a game opportunity for Valhalla. And that's another muff punt for number 6, Evan Acker. He had one earlier in the game that gave new life to Valhalla and allowed them to come back and score. But back to our scheduling issue, Valhalla has an interesting schedule this year, and that is, they had to play a team from Orange County because there was a cancellation in the schedule, and they weren't able to play another team locally, and also now you have 4 straight road games. Now, the good news is next year, that schedule is going to flip-flop a little bit. You're going to get more home games. You probably aren't going to ever see El Toro again, and we wish them well, but we probably will never play again, I'm guessing. And Valhalla may have a little better start to their schedule in terms of, playing teams a little more familiar to them. And that's number 10 for El Toro, and that's Jacob Frigger on the carry. And we still have Connor Manning in the back at quarterback. But it does appear El Toro's taking a little more nonchalant approach to the game here, and they're letting a little clock run. But, as some things, here's some positives as we wrap up the rest of this game for Valhalla that we hand out to number 6, Evan Acker. And Giuseppe Castanos on the tackle there for Valhalla. But, some positives for Valhalla. They scored 46 points against a team that's, in the running to win CIF in their section. So you score 46 points against anybody. And, I don't know how many times I've seen a team score 46 points in a losing effort, though.
Exactly.
I want to make that clear. I have not seen that too much in my lifetime. But we've seen it tonight, and it's not necessarily even done. So that's a positive. Valhalla can't get down. They're a good team. And tonight they played a team that was better, and I think sometimes Dominic Collins on another reception there, sometimes, it's just okay to say, we played a team that's a little more athletic and a little more well-oiled than we are, Got to make a few defensive plays, and those things didn't occur. But, the separation that you see, Valhalla's not too far behind. No. Connor is, I believe, a 4-year or 3-year starter. And so that's a lot of experience, and Ramsey Romano does an unbelievable job. And this is really his first year of starting for Valhalla, so as a senior. So that, that's, a little bit of a contrast there in terms of experience. That's a timeout by Valhalla with 7:35 left to go. It's 1st and 10 for the Chargers. So do you have any exciting videos or anything? Do we have a little tease of a preview or anything we could show? Or
we can show the homecoming videos.
Let's show a few seconds of that, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting a little hoarse here, and we've got about 4 more touchdowns probably left to go in this game, so I got to be able to talk about them.
You're watching Orange Nation TV.
All right. 7:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. And we have an incomplete pass to number 87. That's the first time I've called Joe Schottmiller's name tonight, and it's an incomplete pass. Manning, Connor Manning seems like he still can throw the ball, and that clock stops with 7:32 left to go. Connor Manning back to pass, and that's another incomplete pass. It looks like El Toro has put out some different receivers here. They still have Manning back there. But looks like they've kind of shuffled the deck a little bit in terms of receivers, and they don't seem to be as sure-handed at this point as the other ones, obviously. But we'll see. Now it looks like we brought in at least a few of the more familiar names. Looks like Cody White's back in the game, and you have, of course, the ever dangerous Dominic Collins up to the top of your screen. So we'll see if he goes to them on 3rd down. And sure enough, right over to Dominic Collins, and like he's done all night, he's got a 1st down. And we'll see. I think they'll shuffle those guys back out, bring in some of the newer kids, and see what they do. So, excuse me. First down and 10 for El Toro. And they're demonstrating that they have more gas in the tank, up 70-46. As a delayed handoff to number 10. Number 10 is Jacob Frigger, and he's had a couple carries here tonight. It looks like number 64, Alejandro Durantes, on the tackle for Valhalla, so getting a tackle there for Alejandro. 6:55 left to go. The clock is moving. And we still have Manning in at quarterback for El Toro. And handoff to Frigger. It's a nice, tough run. He's met by a couple Norsemen. Looks like Ryan Arnsberger. I think I see Giuseppe Castanos. And I do believe we have number 20, Terrence Caracchio for Valhalla on the stop there. So another nice tackle for him. He had a really nice tackle in the first half, Terrence did. Very active player, great athlete. 6:30 and rolling for the end of Valhalla's homecoming game against El Toro. What did they say? All right. That's a short carry there by Evan Acker, I believe. I think that might actually be number 5, Jacob Fernari. And some of you say, well, how do you not know the difference between number 6 and number 5? But if you could see where we're at, it's very hard to tell the difference between the two numbers. So I wish I could talk a little bit to the people who design uniforms. I think I would make every number about as bold as I could because and I think I have pretty good vision, so I don't think it's really that's the case. A nice swing pass out to Frigger, and Frigger's a nice tackle by Arnsbarger, and he gives up the ball. I do believe the ground might have caused that, but that was a nice tackle by Arnsbarger. And it looks like Chris Ramsey also had played a role in that play as well for Valhalla. 3rd down and 4, 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go for the game here, and El Toro looking to threaten again to add to that 70 points they have. I don't believe I've ever seen over 70 points scored in a high school football game before. I don't know if I've seen 70 points scored in a high school basketball game in recent memory here at Valhalla. Maybe that says a little bit about the defense in our league being so tough, but Frigger is going to walk up right through the middle of the Valhalla defense, and they're going to give him they're going to give him a touchdown. And now I've seen over 70 points scored in a high school football game, and looks like quite a few starters still out there for El Toro. We'll see if they'll remain out there the next time, and maybe they'll go for 80, 83, or 84. 5 minutes left to go. 76-46. This game has not been as lopsided as that score may indicate. El Toro is definitely a talented football team. There is no doubt about it. Valhalla has been able to hang with them, but just a few stops here and there really was the spelled doom for Valhalla, and that kick is good. So it's 76-46. 5 minutes and 7 seconds left to go for Valhalla. So right here, right now we have a special treat. We have Abigail Metch up here to bring us some updates for Orange Nation TV. You might recognize Abigail from a couple of previews on our Orange Nation TV. She's interviews football players and coaches and all kinds of things. And once again, if you're at home, you're watching this, and you're a student or you know of a student at Valhalla and they want to be a part of Orange Nation TV, we got plenty of room. You can email us at orangenationtv@gmail.com. Abigail, tell us all about what you know.
All right, so don't forget to check out Orange Nation TV for some features on our Valhalla's Got Talent show and field hockey. And don't forget to check out our preview for next week's game.
Absolutely. We're going to preview that Mount Miguel game, and I'm going to tell you what, Mount Miguel versus Valhalla is going to be a pretty exciting one next week. I don't know if we'll see 77-46 next week, but we're going to see a lot of points, I'm pretty sure, between those two teams. All right, thanks, Abigail. And we got a couple Norsemen deep. It looks like Mills and Nehemiah Brown back deep, and let's see if they get a chance. And I don't think they're going to get a chance right there. Roger Howard has got a nice leg, and that he hasn't kicked anywhere near a Norseman. Well, maybe once I think there was, but really, to be honest with you, he's been a very impressive kicker so far this game. So 5 minutes left to go, roughly, in the fourth quarter. And we'll see what Valhalla has to do here. And Ramsey Romano and most of the Norsemen starters are still in, and rightfully so. What I'd really like to see is Valhalla come right down here and score. I think that would be a good testament to their effort tonight. And once again, I can't say enough that the score of this game does not indicate how competitive it was for, better part of a half, really. It was really competitive, and you know what? Hats off to Norsemen. They're not playing any slouches. They're playing an impressive team. That's going to go places, and Valhalla's going to go places too in their own division, in their own section. Ramsey Romano rolls out to the left, and he throws back across his body. He's got John Todd. John Todd, nice little twist, and he's out of bounds. And that's going to be enough to move the chains. And I apologize for those of you at home. I literally need about a gallon of water, and I have a thimble full of water. And it's a little rough right now. Anyway, we'd like to thank all of you who have found time to tune in to our live webcast, or if they're watching on demand, we've really appreciated you doing that. That's number 12 for Valhalla, Daniel Rodriguez around the right side, and he's going to pick up a nice chunk of yards and also going to keep that clock moving with 4:15 left to go in the third quarter.
And it's not any surprise that they were playing a tough team, the Norsemen, and they showed a lot of good skills today. There is some improvements to be made, but they definitely played a great game.
All right, back to pass again, Ramsey Romano, and that ball is going to be ruled incomplete. You know, from my vantage point, and the side judge here, it looks like he's ruling it complete, but the back judge is ruling it incomplete. And I really prefer what the back judge had to say about this. And they're going to wave that off. And sadly, my admission from what I've seen, it looked like it was complete. But we don't have replay in high school football, and that's really good because that might have gone to the Chargers there. But we'll just leave it be at that. We do have a new quarterback in, and number 12, Daniel Rodriguez, and he completes a pass to number 9, Edgar Diaz. So we're getting some new Norseman looks here, and this is the first look I've seen of Daniel Rodriguez. He's a junior. He's 5'11", 166 pounds, and he commands that team pretty well, it looks like. And maybe we're looking at the future of Valhalla football here for next year after Ramsey Romano is able to graduate. We have a little bit of a busted play, and that's, you know what? It'd be tough to be quarterback.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough when you have a busted play and there's about 6 guys waiting to meet you that you do not want to meet, and that's what happened there. Second down for Valhalla off the sack of Daniel Rodriguez. Little cross up in the signals there. And it's good to see some younger guys getting to play here. I tell you what, this is good, and this is how you grow a football program. Even when you're down, maybe the inclination is to keep playing. That's going to be an interception off a tip by number 9. And number 9 is going to be brought down by number 9. The interception by Anthony Jackson, the tackle by Edgar Diaz. And it's going to be a Charger ball again with 2:51. And I don't believe we'll see Connor Manning again. And I don't think we're going to. It looks like we're going to see number 15, Trey Tinsley. And I do have him listed as the backup quarterback. So welcome to Valhalla's stadium, Trey Tinsley, as he gets some few minutes. And I'm going to guess Trey Tinsley gets a few minutes every now and then because they put up some pretty impressive scores pretty much against everybody they've played. So here comes Valhalla on defense, and we have a little bit of we have a official timeout for Valhalla. Looks like they don't have quite the 11 people needed on the defensive side of the ball. And let's face it, El Toro doesn't need any help. So you need 11 guys out there, even if you have a hope to even Trey Tinsley to stop him. So that'll be a Valhalla timeout. 2 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. 77-46, El Toro on top. And I made no mistake. That is 77-46. But, you know, I'd like to point out that Valhalla scored 46 points tonight. Yeah. They were knocking on the door to score, another touchdown. And unfortunately, it was picked off, and that led to another touchdown for El Toro. You know, once again, and maybe I'm trying to make something out of something that's not there. But I watched this game from start to finish, and I tell you what, I'm still impressed with Valhalla. I think they can do a lot of damage this year. I think they showed some good things. Unfortunately, they just got on the short side of things a few times, and things didn't go their way. So it looks like number 25, I want to say, Dylan Sanders possibly there, although he's listed as linebacker. It is number 25, Dylan Sanders, for El Toro, and he's going to move that chains. And first of all, it's interesting to watch an El Toro quarterback actually take the ball from under center. That's something maybe he's not. Who am I kidding? He's going back into the shotgun. Okay. Anyway, I guess I'm stuck in 1990s. I'm stuck in 20th century football, and that's a pretty interesting snap. But, hey, a nice recovery there by number 25, Dylan Sanders. He's going to pick up a few yards. Pretty smart move on his part. That brings up third down with 2 minutes, and we're rolling. We're going to be under 2 minutes here in a little bit. Those of you that are nearby, you can run over to that homecoming dance and enjoy the last hour or so, whatever we have. I don't know. It's at 10 o'clock right now, so there's an hour left of the game. So if you're listening to this live and you really want to dance, we got a dance for you. And I think we lowered the admission price to $1. You can't argue with that. And I'm such a generous guy. All the Orange Nation TV guys, and gals, they're going to get into the dance for free because we have to return the equipment to the school. So Dylan Sanders on another carry there. Dylan Sanders appears to be listed as he's listed as a running back. He's a senior, so not getting a lot of carries, but this is a good opportunity for him to move the ball. And a minute 20 left or so in the fourth quarter, 77-46. Trey Tinsley's back in at quarterback. He's going to hand off again to number 25 to Dylan Sanders, and he's going to carry off the right side. And number 44 for Valhalla is going to make a nice tackle there. Scott Perry. Nice play for Scott Perry. And actually, Dan Leone also seemed to make a play there. We're getting word there. So we had a couple different Norsemen make the tackle. And we're under a minute left, and we're going to stop the clock. It looks like. Oh, we're just going to take a knee here, and that's good sportsmanship on the behalf of El Toro. El Toro, not very good guest for a homecoming. I'm a little disappointed. Might have to write him a letter because everybody knows you're supposed to win your homecoming, and unfortunately that did not occur tonight. But, hey, 46 points against a team like that, that's something that Valhalla can build on. 77 points on the other side, that's also something that we can work on. But I don't know how many teams you're going to see all year that's going to throw the ball that effectively. So, yes. I mean, the good news is your Helixes of the world are pretty darn good. And you know, it would be interesting to see a matchup between El Toro and Helix. I think it would be a pretty good game. But Valhalla, you know what? No slouches. Absolutely. Valhalla did some good things tonight. Should not hang their head in one bit. But your final score on Homecoming 2012 for Valhalla, as that last second goes off the clock, is Valhalla 46 and El Toro Chargers 77. They're going to head back up to Orange County, probably a little happier, probably tomorrow. It sounds like there's a freshman and JV game here tomorrow at the stadium. I'm going to not be covering that. I'm going to be home sleeping. But for the rest of you out there in Orange Nation TV land, we hope that you will take a second to watch the replay of this game, watch the replay of all of our games, watch Odin's procession. I mean, we have so many things right now. I think we have over 10 videos that you can watch right now on Orange Nation TV.
In the first 3 weeks of school.
In the first 3 weeks of school, which is quite impressive. And that's hats off to the wonderful Orange Nation TV staff that we have. I mean, those kids are doing a great job, and we're all very impressed. And I'm very lucky to be able to work with such fine young people. So as they shake hands, we're going to say goodbye. And we're just going to say goodbye for a couple weeks of live action. But guess what? You can still get highlights and all kinds of neat things on Orange Nation TV, so don't go anywhere. And we truly think that maybe we'll have one of these away games that we'll be able to cover live, and that's one of our goals as well. So on behalf of Orange Nation TV, my name's John Owens, and we hope you had an enjoyable time watching this game. We hope to see you and hear from you, and hope you watch some other games coming up. So everybody out there in Orange Nation TV land, have a safe evening.